What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another beautiful edition of MVP Sports Live right here. You might be watching us on Twitch. You may be watching us on YouTube. And I am joined, as I always am, with my beautiful co-host, Dave Oster. Dave, how you doing? The last day of 2020. Let's hope it's a good one. Let's hope it's a good day.
It's pretty good so far. No complaints on my end. Just enjoying it, you know?
I'll be completely honest. Today I had the catastrophic thought of, you know how they have like the Mayan calendars and everything? We've had those like end of the world scares.
2012, yeah.
I was in the shower today and the random thought was like, what if at midnight, like it finally happened? Like the worst year ended with what we thought was going to come numerous times before.
Back to 2020 again and we have to relive it? Like, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it's just like, all right, fucking
Lights
electricity is gone and it's like the world's over. Like, it's not like we die instantly, but it's like basically we've lost all power and it's a post-apocalyptic world now.
The problem is, like, there's no logical explanation for that.
I don't know,
my
man.
brain doesn't let me get there, Ricky.
Movies, baby.
No, Ricky, my brain doesn't let me get there.
But Dave, what if there's a magical rock? What if Trump got a magical rock and was like, I want to be this rock?
Trump had a magical rock from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. He snorted a lot of magical rock.
Snorted a lot of magical rock.
It explains a lot of things when you think about it.
But we have a jam-packed... Actually, we have a pretty good show today. I thought, and I was kind of showing this to Dave, was... I think today we were going to do the Wet Boys of the Year.
Yes.
We're going to go through and kind of definitively crown a Wet Boy of the Year and also a Wet Boy in each of the categories that we have for the year. I thought we'd wait. It wasn't a for sure thing, but it's like...
You just discovered...
Well, yeah, I figured out.
I didn't know there were categories before 20 minutes ago.
Categories meaning like football, NBA,
Sure,
MLB, like the different sports.
Sure.
Because there can't just be one King Wet Boy at the end. So we'll discuss all the Wet Boys and Misty Misses that we've had this year. But also just to kind of talk about how big of a year or just how the year has been for us in general. Because Dave, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But do you know what we were doing a year ago from right now?
No?
Recording a fast break in the studio.
No shit.
Because videos went up on the 1st of January. Let me get the date on last year's December 31st.
I just realized we were recording on New Year's Eve last year as well.
So the Wet Boys, the videos went out late. They went out on Wednesday. We recorded on the 29th. No, 28th. 28th. Basically, end of the year, we were in the studio. Like, the 31st would have been a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, we were...
I feel like I didn't really celebrate New Year's. I just kind of whatevered into the next year.
It's like the picture I put in the gaming chat of, like, gaming, midnight.
Back to... Yeah.
And then back to gaming. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. Or the last time I feel like I really celebrated New Year's was like when it was in WoW Classic and it's like, oh, got to get to the major city for the firework demonstration and the celebration you get at midnight.
Big deal, yeah.
And really it's like round midnight, which for us was like, okay, it's about 2 hours. It's about an hour off or an hour early because it's usually East Coast time. But like, Dave, it's been one hell of a year for us. And think about what we were doing at the end of last year, which was the fast break and everything, to what we're doing now with MVP Sports Live.
Yeah. Sean, I miss you. Come back, please. Please.
That happened a few months later. Didn't even get to that.
Sean, I miss you.
Sean, I miss you. I miss you a lot. I offered for you to come on the show, and then you never texted me back.
Text him now.
The last text. Call him.
I'm gonna see if we get a call in from Sean Anderson.
Because the text I got was it was a couple weeks ago. He said, I texted him and said, was going to congratulate on the win in fantasy, but I don't know how I feel after your power move of benching both Chubbs and the Browns defense, if you deserve it. And he said, I stopped the count. This isn't an election. I got 270. I said, LOL, I love you, Sean, which he hearted. And then he said, back at ya, how have you been? And I told him he's always welcome on the show. I even told him in our group chat. Where's the Wet Boy group chat? Yeah, Wet Boy. He said, I need to come on soon and gloat about how right I was on Patty Williams. And I said, you know the rule. You're welcome whenever you want. Never got a response to that, Dave.
I shot him a message. I said, long shot here in last minute. But you want to call it 5 minutes?
Okay, I was like, I thought we were going to do the power move of, fuck it, just call him.
I'm not going to call him, put him on spot because he could be working. I don't know the man's schedule.
True. And see, that's how I am, though. I'm just like a fucking, if you answer, like, it's like, hey, right that's what I would do. Just call, have it on speaker right here so you can hear.
I'm not that. He says, right now, I'm working the Bulls. I could probably at 7:30. Boom.
7:30. All right. Half hour. We'll be talking for at least that long. But Dave,
will be there.
I totally have to show this off. So, you know how I mentioned what we were doing a year ago from today?
Yeah.
This is what it looked like. This is what we all looked like a year ago from today, Dave. Look at your hair.
Look at that hair.
Like Dave's hair from now compared to, let's see if I could do that. Let's see if I can. Let's go ahead and get that smaller.
I had to go full mane, you know?
Show it there so I can crop that down.
It's a little longer, you know? You don't yeah.
Let's see. It's theater mode. Don't want a mini play. Don't want to mini player it. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, like you've got with me, my big change isn't from the year until now. Like yours is the hair. You've got the longer hair now.
That's the big change in the year.
With me, it's like I almost look I don't want to say the same. I kind of look the same.
No, you look exactly the same, Ricky.
I do. Like the thing was I had to get the beard back to what it was. I had to get this luscious beard. I feel like it filled in
the cheeks a little bit better. The sides are a little bit fuller.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That room, what people cannot see.
Look how white I was.
Well, it's not just how white you were. Hey, look, it's Jumpin' Joe Ingles. Jumpin' Joe Ingles was a wet boy, Dave.
Yeah.
It wasn't just how white everything is. It didn't help that you're wearing white. The walls were white.
Happening.
But
Dave looks better now. Wait, Jay. I'm reading chat now, so I can't not read chat.
People
would do me.
People dude, that was another conversation in the watch along yesterday. We talked about if we would do each other, and then it turned into a Silence of the Lambs of would you do me? I'd do me.
Sean, sure, you not so much.
You gotta start. But Jake, that's the best part, taking shit out of context. But
Ricky doesn't age. No, Ricky.
No, I just get fat.
I say his face. I saw the photos from the earlier videos.
I am way
fatter. His face stayed the same size, but the rest of his body caught up to him. You know,
like I can feel like my cheeks and like my neck area, like everything around. Like I just get fatter. That's the thing. Like when I smile, there's more of a fold right here, Dave.
Can we start our 2021 New Year resolutions?
I hate New Year's resolutions. I'll be completely honest.
Why is that? Why do you?
Because the reason why I hate New Year's resolutions. Before I get into that, I want to make this point because then it'll be a half hour later. And while I never made it, the point was in this room right behind Sean, fucking the biggest windows you ever had. And usually in December it was like all snowy and shit. So it's light hitting snow coming through the window, hitting all the white that's in this room.
I gotta get that hoodie, by the way. It's literally over there.
Go get it. I am not kidding. Go get it. It was just, and you guys know how anal I am with shit, like the camera and the lighting and stuff. To where I would literally, Sean would be so angry that I would be at that camera. Just, there it is. Old Dave coming back. Look at, holy shit, you look so much younger with the hair and a hoodie. You look so, like, the hoodie takes years off your life, Dave.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks like something a teenager would wear. You know, t-shirt, the fucking hoodie.
I bought it when I was a teenager, Ricky.
I know.
That's the scary thing.
Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm seeing, like, teenage Dave with long hair.
This shirt, Big D in the kids table, was
in college. That was in college.
21?
Close, yeah.
20,
around there. That was when we were at Warped Tour.
Yeah. Aging's not really something I've done. I had a baby face growing up,
Yeah.
and I'll always have a baby face. So like, I got that going for me. I
Mhm.
can't grow a beard, can't grow a mustache. Tried, failed horribly. Looked really bad, but I wore it anyway because it was like I have to prove a point to myself.
Yeah.
My
JD's.
parents have a picture of me
Yeah.
with the shitty goatee, and it's on their fridge, and I'm like, please
The
burn that.
shitty goatee from what?
Please get
From
rid of
earlier
that.
in the pandemic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally mid-pandemic when I tried to grow it out. They took a photo, and it's framed. It's me and my two brothers. And I'm like, please burn that.
Please burn.
I don't want
And
to
they're like,
remember that
no,
moment.
we love you. You look
No,
beautiful.
it's great. You're everybody's smiling. I'm like, please burn it. Please burn it now.
Please just burn it.
Yeah. And I got a Christmas gift with a photo with me and my niece and nephew.
Yeah, with the goatee.
Yeah, it was earlier Goatee Dave, and I'm not a fan of Goatee Dave.
Oh, see, I'm fucking looking for. JD mentioned in chat that you look the same. Here it is. Because I didn't want to. Whoop, did not want to open it. Let's see. I'm gonna email it to myself because I don't want to like close out Discord and find it.
Okay, sure.
By
the way, people looking for sports, we're just shooting the shit for a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll get to sports in a minute.
Are we getting to sports today? I thought today was just an end of the year, just fucking recap.
They don't know that we're not talking sports. It's okay.
I mean, we're a sports show. It's the end of the year clip show, Dave. Gotta have an end of the year clip show.
We'll bring in guests during the show. We got Sean coming in. We might bring in Jake. We might bring in JD.
Yeah, we might bring in
anyone
JD.
in Jake might get pulled in. If you guys do eventually want to, we might request it in the watch along challenge. Drag you down.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's my? There it is.
Make your guest appearance on the show for the year.
Guest appearance.
I miss. That's one of the things I know.
Call-ins?
This is not on a tangent. The call-ins. Yeah. If you can get fucking Fred on the show, right?
We were talking about that. Jake was like after they came back because we were talking about the game we went to. And I mentioned how it was funny to me because it was like Sean and Jake hanging out and then Ricky, Dave, and fucking Fred hanging out at the game. That was buddies. The two groups. I just kept
ripping Jake about how shitty the Sixers were doing that game. That was just any chance I could shove it
Fred
in.
Fred loved ripping the Sixers.
He did. It was too easy that night.
But I guess Jake said when they got back to Philly, I guess Fred asked, when's my appearance on the podcast going to be? And Jake's like, you are never going on the podcast. No, you got your 2 minutes of fame is what Jake
will be
said.
On the show.
Oh, man. Fred's the man. Like, Fred is awesome. But no, the video that I showed in the watch along, because I was talking in the watch along about how, remember, before I got the new bulbs, which I do have today, I gotta tinker with the lights behind me because now
you're brighter.
I'm brighter, and behind me is not yellow anymore.
It's less yellow, yeah.
But basically, well, it's still kind of yellow. Because one of the bulbs, the one that's facing away, one of them didn't work and kept flickering. So I'm using one of the old bulbs.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much it affects, but it's the one that's pointing away from me. Because I'm like, get that fucking out of here.
It's great, fantastic video.
But the video I showed, I was like, it reminded me having the lights off behind me, like the video you and I did 8 years ago, June 22nd, Dave, 2012, where a certain LeBron James finally got his ring. That's and I was like, hey, Dave, we should do a video. And this is what that video looked like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this was your old parents' house in your room, lights completely off, only illuminated by the monitor in front. You had two monitors, but I think it's only the one monitor, eluding yourself. And the thing I find the funniest is I'm going to turn the volume on. Do you have your Twitch volume on?
Hang on. I can turn it, yeah.
Turn it on, because I want you to hear the tone of your voice, because I can't tell I can't remember if you were sleeping or if you were sleep deprived playing World of Warcraft. I'm just going to play the little beginning.
And you might be thinking to yourself right now, well, Ricky, this is weird. We're seeing you over here and Dave is over here. I don't know which side is to me right now, but we're doing a Skype call, and this is how we're probably going to do most of our segments here in the future, just because it's easier to get the story out to you, the viewer, instead of doing it on the beautiful couch that is behind me. And
You
the
look
first
pissed
thing we're going to
off.
talk about today,
But I know you weren't pissed
tonight,
off. You were
actually, this
tired.
morning, how you want to view it. LeBron James, Dave, he gets his first ring.
Yeah.
Gets
You
it.
got he got
Literally
fat,
what I'm
man.
looking for. It's about time.
Well, funny you say that. I don't know
It's
if
about
you saw.
Man,
Did you see
About
the
time.
post celebrations?
I did not.
It's funny you say that because ESPN had a reporter there
Mhm.
to ask him, and they're like, "Do you have any words after winning this championship?" And he said, "About time."
Nice.
He said, "About time."
That'd be my reaction too. I mean, the guy's the best player in the league. It's about time he won a championship for it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if you were just dog shit tired or
Say
I have just sleep deprived myself playing World of Warcraft.
probably a bit of both at that point. But I can match the color angle at least right here. I can,
You just turned off your lights while we were doing that, didn't
did.
you?
I
Because
did.
you can do it on your phone. You're all fancy like that.
Fancy now.
Oh man, but like, yeah, that's what JD was talking about. How you apparently don't look any different. As
I
Dave turns on
really
the lights
haven't
real
changed
quick.
too much. I think I'm slightly fatter now than I was then, but like I'm working on bringing that down. It's the Christmas time. I was in great shape up until about October.
Mm-hmm.
Then I let myself go.
I love what you said because it is noticeable. Where it's like that video of me, I looked a lot thinner in the face.
You did. Well, I think the neck beard really. You had the line.
I'm even saying like
Now you
right.
got that filled in.
I'm saying
Yeah,
like right here, I look thinner. Like in the
Look at
high,
Toby,
the high
man.
parts of the. Looking at Tobias Harris. Is that what you're
What
saying?
he doing?
I don't know. What is
Is he
Toby
playing
doing?
well?
I don't know. What is he doing?
Is he playing worth his millions?
And millions.
Down,
He's still-
18-8-2 on decent shooting split. Yeah, he is. He's playing well.
Didn't have a better day than Otto Porter though.
Yeah, Otto Porter, second best bull right now. Did
Or-
not see that coming.
Or
for
he's
most
just
fans,
a
but I
wizard
did.
killer. Or he's just a wizard killer. Who knows?
It's a revenge game, Ricky. You got to remember the revenge game factor.
He got 2 on him now. We swept the series.
Yeah.
Swept the series
Otto
2
Porter,
on. I don't
very
even know
good.
if that game ended. I just assumed we won.
Dude, I heard a Tobias Harris and Thibault trade for Zach Levine,
Yeah.
and I threw up in my mouth.
Ooh, so we won,
I did
Dave.
not
Do you want to know by how much?
3. I saw the score.
Okay, 3. I didn't know you saw it.
saw the
See,
score.
yet again, I'm box score watching here.
Yeah, because you'll do your official watch for the review, and
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yet again, though, Bulls didn't win the first. Like, Wizards came out, won the first, 41-35.
Because Wendell Carter was playing center.
Yeah. Then the Bulls won the second, won the third, outscored them in both, and then again got outscored in the fourth.
Just by a
Like,
little, though.
yeah, by a little, but like even the last game, I think it was the Wizards got outscored all 3 quarters and then outscored us in the fourth even. So
Yeah. I'm impressed with the fact that our offense held up to their offense. Like they have a very
with
good
Russ
scoring
and
team,
Beal.
and we were able to hold up pretty well
yeah.
on our end and keep up.
The other thing, Dave, that I have, and this is the only other clip I have, is do you want to know? So I showed how much we changed from the year to the year, but we also took a hiatus. This
We're just
year.
going through it for, by the way,
Yeah,
boys.
go ahead.
Keep a can counter.
keep a can going. Just crack open a new one. 1 sip. Everyone knows the rules, right, Dave? 1
Yeah,
sip.
not quite.
All the sips.
I look. I'm not in that kind of mood tonight. Like
Or-
I could one sip a can,
or-
but like, I really don't want to.
Or is Dave in a 1 chug? Everyone knows the rules.
No.
kind of mood.
Bad.
But we took a hiatus, like Sean or like Dave mentioned early. There were some sad times this year where we lost Sean Anderson.
That's true. That was a moment that changed MVP forever.
It hurt. Like
I'm 4 deep in my claws.
let's
Well,
go. Well,
I've
Jake,
been drinking wine since noon. And
Jake's
then I just
also
switched over
in.
to cider.
Jake is also good news for Jake. Jake, I'm gonna put you on blast here, but it's a good blast. Kudos to Jake. Tested negative for the COVID-19.
Jesus
so-
for your family, Jake. It's a scary thing, obviously.
Love to
Hopefully
fucking
back
hear
for
that
your
Jake
family.
tested negative though.
Yep.
And his immediate
Keep it safe.
family, his household. That was good because I know Jake was worried about his test today. But I think,
didn't
Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're still under quarantine, I think, for like a few more days, I think he said. So pound back those White Claws while you're in quarantine. Ain't
Not
got
us,
nowhere to
dude.
go.
Not
Ain't
us,
got nowhere to go. But yeah, Sean, I'm going to see. Do we have that video, right? Yeah. Yeah, we recorded that video and it went out. It went out on June 15th.
And when did we record it?
I think we recorded it like at the end of May.
I was gonna say, like, it was a long time.
Yeah. Well, at that point, we weren't putting out any content.
The one
so
thing
like,
I feel bad, Ricky, because you do all the legwork here, but I do rip on you for not putting up content quick enough.
Hey, I understand, and I also understand I'm better than
Look
I was.
at that horrible mustache.
From you.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
There's video. Like, Dave thought there was pictorial footage. There's video footage.
It's bad. I remember when we all went home and we were like, I guess we're not doing this in person again.
Yeah.
I gotta unmute.
Yeah. Well, I have it muted. I'm just showing it what it is, which is great because I can put the 3 overlay graphic over it because we recorded it just like we do now. So I don't have to hide the graphic. But like, even my face, like, I'm trying to stay. Like, I'll be honest, I was trying to stay like happy for it.
Yeah.
But like, this sucked. This was a low part of the year.
It was emotional.
It was an end of an era. Like, I mean, I love what we're doing, but like at the same time, it comes into it of like why Sean had to leave, of the fact of, and he even told us, and he said in that video of like, how did he put it? It wasn't a
bring it back. Maybe I will. You know what? Maybe that's my 2021 resolution.
What? Bring back the mustache?
Bring it back
with the long hair. Let's go.
I'm gonna look straight up like a fucking pedophile if I do that.
No, you won't. And not anything worse than me with just the mustache.
Dude, Ricky with the mustache.
Just the mustache. Just the mustache.
For those who don't know, Ricky with just mustache is one of the weirdest fucking people.
I love how Jake, no, do not bring it back. Oh, I'm not bringing it back. I remember this was when I was in college. I was dating my second girlfriend, Becky. Shout out to Bex. Yeah, because she's the only girlfriend that I don't hate. Our ex-girlfriend that I don't hate.
She's good people.
Good people, unique relationship.
She's still alive.
So yes, creepy thing was to let everyone know out there, because I know the patrons know. Jake's gonna be like, Rick, you told this story numerous times. I've only told this numerous times, Jake, because A, you've hung out with us, and B, you're in the watch along. What is it?
They're not a sponsor, but don't get this. It's awful.
Well, why would I get it if it's all like? Why would I sponsor it if it's awful?
I'm warning you.
I know you said not a sponsor. It's like, why would I want to sponsor it if it was fucking terrible? You're right, JD. Fucking Mike 2K. Shout out to Mike 2K. Baby.
No, you say don't mention Mike 2K.
No, I know. I know. That's why I gotta mention it. You're right, Jake. You're right, Jake. I should mention. I'm contractually
every
obligated.
Episode is so we went to a Bulls game with Jake and we met Mike 2K.
Yeah, that was the big complaint from Jake yesterday, and it's like
because you've mentioned it literally 6 times in. I think it was 14 episodes that I counted out.
Yeah, well, I mentioned it. I mentioned it either yesterday or the day before because he tweeted at me.
Yes.
And of course, when I mentioned Mike 2K, I got to mention where we met him, Dave. It was kind of a big deal.
Have you mentioned
Ryan?
The local Ryan was the local.
Yeah, I talked about. I went to tell that story last night, and Jake was like, "We know."
Have we heard anything from Ryan in a while? I haven't heard from Ryan.
I haven't heard anything from Ryan in a while. You know who I haven't heard anything from in a while?
Oh.
First, Bilal, because as I was watching Wet Boy stuff today, it was the day. Remember the day that Sean fucked up the times and told him 1:00, but didn't say Central Time.
Which time zone? Yes.
It was that one. So I was like, shit. I wonder what he's doing. Also, Ziani.
Yeah, boy,
we haven't talked to Z in a while. Like I know Z had to go away from the patronage, but like fucking, I miss Z. Remember when he called us from a Pied Piper, which is basically the Chuck E. Cheese of the West.
That was one of the most confusing but fun episodes ever. We're like Zion, we hear some stuff in the background. He's like, oh yeah, I'm at a Pied Piper. Like it's my nephew's birthday, right?
Yeah, it was just me and you. That was an episode Sean wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a fun one. That was a fun one.
But what was
we've had some great patrons. We've had some great fans. Love the comments always.
But what I was saying about Sean was
15 minutes till Sean calling.
Well, the thing that sucked about it, maybe we'll get an update from Sean, was he didn't say on the video, it wasn't like oh my God, I hate doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. It wasn't even a like, hey, I've got other shit going on in my life. Like the thing that made me realize, okay, like I'm not, it hurts because you're leaving, but I understand is when he said it was a like loss of drive almost. And like for him, he even said, he goes, it just doesn't feel like we like doing the show anymore.
Yeah, there was moments. Again, I've never been one to not tell the truth.
Yeah, no, I know. You're very honest. You like to complain about things. That's two things about Dave.
I got a high pitched thing going in my right ear right now. It's not the headphones. It's like my own personal issue.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like shit. Something with Twitch.
No. You ever get that where you hear like a high pitched tone?
Yeah,
it's
all
stuck
the time.
in my right ear.
Or the opposite, where like it sounds like your ear
like an octave below.
Like you almost lose. Like it almost feels like you can't hear out of your ear. But then I do this, and it's like, okay, I can still hear out of it.
Yeah, it's a mental fuckery.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. I was saying,
Sean, you like telling it how it is, and you like to complain. Those are two things about Dave.
Yes, that is Dave's critique. But it was the idea that like, hey man, like we started this out of our passion for talking about sports. It was always all about like, hey, how can we be like, hey, we're just bunch of guys shooting the shit, enjoying ourselves. Basically, no different than the discussion we'd have around a dinner table.
We were sitting at the office at a time when we had this. It was at the office in
Not
one
Champs?
of their booths.
Are you sure it was at Champs?
No, it was at the office. Champs was closed by this time.
The first time.
The first time. Then they came back and
they closed.
Which we may tell that story today with the unique experience about.
Is awful. You're not wrong.
But it like I remember sitting in that booth and it was like, dude, it's like if we put a microphone right here, talk just like we're talking right now.
Yeah, Champs was open when we started the show, Ricky. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was, but the conversation happened at the office.
I don't know about that.
Because I remember vividly, I had the soup. I had the soup that day.
You always have soup.
Yeah, but we were sitting at a booth. Like we've had the conversation before.
Yeah.
But it was like this was like the conversation of like, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. Because Champs was our thing after the podcast.
Oh, Ricky's a big soup guy, Jake. You would not believe this man can't. If they got a cream of anything soup, Ricky is down for that soup. Yeah. And he'll like the funniest thing
inhale it.
Second guesses that soup. He's like, well, like I want to get an appetizer, but I also kind of want the soup. I'm like, get them both. Get Ricky, we'll get the appetizer. I'll split the appetizer with you. You get the soup though. You enjoy the soup.
Oh, how did I not know? I love cream of potatoes are my favorite.
Cream of potato, cream of chicken rice.
Really, potato anything is my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. I'm really.
He loves cream.
I do. I love cream. The cream's the best, man. Got to go up to Milwaukee, Cream City, baby. Live it up. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, get one of those jerseys.
However, not a huge fan of cream cheese. I like how here's the thing about Twitch. I can no react to it. So I watch Jake say it and then I look at Dave for the reaction. Because I know Dave is bad at like not reacting to shit. I saw it and was like, okay, Dave, what do you guys say about that one?
Yep. Nothing. I'm not saying anything.
But yeah, love fucking soup. But oh fuck, where were we? Yeah, at the office. That's what you were saying. You were also saying you like to tell it how it is, and we got
back to the original point. So yeah, Sean basically had felt like he'd been burnt out. Like he wasn't having fun doing the show anymore. Yeah. It felt like a chore, or almost like a job. And at that point, like I totally agree and understand with his decision. Like he has some other stuff going on in life, and we always, hey, whatever works best for you is always the answer. This is always like in our spare time, let's see what we can do. To have some fun, and if we can make something successful out of it, which I feel pretty good about what we've done, then kudos to us. That's a bonus, We just want to find people who want to talk sports and have the same level of enthusiasm that we do about it, and that's one of the best things that we found this community. And Discord was the fucking MVP at MVP. I feel like.
Well, I mean,
it took a long time to get there, but like once we got it going, it felt fantastic to have that community build up. Outside of our
patrons,
yeah.
The best decision we made was making it free for everyone, because that is Joel Embiid doing some thrusts. He would have gotten a flag in football. Yeah, that link is definitely Joel Embiid thrusting. You can't fucking hump the grass.
It was upwards. It was upwards, Ricky.
Oh, dude, fucking 3 pumps. That's a flag, man. 2 pumps is okay.
It
3,
depends on
not
loop,
okay.
So I don't know if it was a two thrust or a 3 thrust. I can't tell you.
Was it all one continuous thrust though? That's the thing.
No, it was multiple thrusts. Trust me. Joe had the motion of the ocean going with him there.
Motion of the ocean. But yeah, like that's why it's like I understood why Sean had to leave.
Yeah,
it just sucked because like
it changed everything.
Yeah, because like the one thing on my end is and this is just
Mark
how I
and Sean, Mark, Sean, and Brandon.
Yeah,
and fucking
Johnny,
and
I mean, Soapy asked me about that. He goes, because
I feel bad.
No, that was it.
No.
Yeah, that was it.
When did she? No. Who was?
He got fired, Dave. He got fired.
Still part of the
Mike Rankin. He got fired.
Mike Rankin.
That is a story I will never forget. Where Brandon and I are at VidCon.
We did gain a Soapy. That was great. Honestly.
We did gain a Soapy. So yeah, positives. But like, and also Soapy will never live it down that he's like, Sean's just scared of him. Soapy joins the team. Sean leaves.
Soapy's gonna watch along, and when Sean gets here, I'm gonna drag him in.
Okay.
I want to make it happen. I want to make the meeting happen.
But what was I?
Get Johnny in here.
So
Jason would be great.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
What was I gonna hit first? Not the Johnny thing. The Mike Rankin thing.
Mike Rankin, yeah, Rank Daddy.
Mike Rankin, good guy, hard worker. Like this is me. It's gonna sound like I'm.
It's that guy.
It's gonna sound like I'm talking shit about him.
Rank
fucking daddy, baby.
Hell yeah, Jake.
One of my favorite stories of Mike Rankin was me and him playing Overwatch beta at like 2 and 3 in the morning, streaming on YouTube Gaming before we were just on Twitch solely. And literally was talking about Jose, what was his name? Fernandez, the Marlins pitcher. And like, did he get traded to the Cubs? And I mapped it back because the next day we found out what happened to Fernandez. Thank you, Jake. Yeah. The next day I'm like, shit, we were literally talking about him as he died.
Yeah.
Like literally the same time he died, we were talking about him. So like that was one where I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of surreal. But no, the Mike Rankin story was, I didn't even get to do it because I was at VidCon with Brandon.
Yep.
And he did an interview and a podcast for Behind the Pen. So it was like just make sure Mark gets it. I think it was either Mark or Sean gets it so they can upload it. It was Sean. Sean can get it and upload it to our shit. And he had uploaded it to his own SoundCloud first because I guess he didn't want to waste time and getting views for it. And right. I remember texting Mark, and the text from Mark was, nah, fuck that. He's out of chances. And Mark either called him or texted him and said, you're done. You're donezo, bro.
Well, like we told him, like, it will be uploaded at this day, at this time.
Because like Sean had schoolwork to do at the time. Yeah. Like it wasn't like Sean could at beck and call, and like Sean was working hot on those videos, doing a great job while I was in California with Brandon. But I mean, don't do cocaine. Jesus Christ.
And drive a boat. Yeah, don't do coke and
don't do drugs and drive a boat. That just seems like good advice. But yeah, that just broke the camel's back of why it was like, fucking like, you're done. We're not going to associate with you anymore. But yeah, we technically had him. But like, what? You just don't drive boats. Mark left because of the whole, yet again. Oh, he jumped in the Discord.
It's our boy.
Hey,
what up?
Oh my god.
I gotta fix the overlay.
Look at this guy.
I didn't know if you guys were busy, so I just felt join.
No, we're just shooting the shit.
All right. As long as I'm not impeding on anything or jumping over.
It's a clip show today. We're talking about our year.
Oh, yeah?
Ricky pulled up the last video we did. He pulled up the video from the 28th of December last year, which went up on the 1st of January this year.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wearing the hoodie, because I'm sweating my fucking balls off wearing a hoodie.
You can take it off now.
You look like Crispin Glover, kind of. The hair is nuts.
Dude, it's out there.
Who did you just say, Sean? Chris?
Kind of like Crispin Glover and Jack White.
Like Jack, I get the Jack White, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess then.
It's been good, honestly. Like I've been doing okay. I got no complaints on my end.
Crispin.
Here.
I mean, it is what it is, Sean. How are you? I miss you more than anything.
Yeah, Sean, you gotta update us on your life because Ricky and I see each other fucking daily. Like I'm sick of this bitch.
Sean's like, ugh.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I mean, it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
It's fucking COVID still. I remember sitting here at this place at my work doing the first COVID one, like the first Discord show we did.
Yeah.
And it's weird just thinking back on that now. How fucking long ago that was. I mean, that was 9 months.
It's true. It's true.
So I mean, yeah, I've just been here working. I moved into a new apartment.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, I moved out.
Congratulations.
So
Moved in with Maddie.
Oh my god! I owe you a housewarming gift. What area are you in?
we're on Twitch right now.
Never mind. Not on stream.
We're on Twitch. I'm just gonna warn you. Yeah. So
Yep. I will text you later, Sean.
Not too far.
My question is, so the tweet about your Thanksgiving was not about your mom. Okay, because I was assuming, I'm like, man, that's a bad time for a Sean and his mom because you were living with your mom.
Yeah, no, that was our first. So we literally, Maddie and I sit down at our new kitchen table. First time we're sitting down to eat at this table that my mom got us from IKEA. Yeah. And I sit down. We
Great
sit down,
fucking
we make
tables.
the whole meal and everything. And I sit down and I just hear this dripping come from behind me. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I don't know what's going on. And it was raining. And then we just see the cabinets are dripping down the side of the fridge. And we're like, what the hell's going on? So I'm holding a bucket under this cabinet, just trying to not let the whole place flood. And we call the maintenance guy, and he's like, okay, I'll make a call real quick.
Yeah.
So then we just hear shit upstairs happening. And then the guy comes downstairs from upstairs. He's like, hey, Derek just called me. My name's Calvin. You can call me Old School. This was an accident. I'm so sorry.
You can call me Old School.
So this dude, Old School, floods my fucking apartment because he just let his sink run and walked out of his apartment because he was, and this is the great part, he was like, you guys ever smell incense?
Yeah.
Because he smokes that good shit is what he told us. So Calvin, while he's holding the little Swisher Sweet, probably mixed with some stuff, he just let his water run and flooded our apartment. So it was a good time. That was our Thanksgiving.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is a happy Thanksgiving. Shit.
Jake is also telling you that you're still wearing shitty ass hats. He says. Even though I like that hat, that's a fucking dope.
A good fucking hat. Jake,
that's the Mighty Ducks, baby.
I just got this one, so I felt pretty good about it. And
I like
Jake has shit taste anyway, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, no. What shitty little brother of yours?
Oh man! I realized I want to buy some hats again and start wearing ball caps.
I'm telling you,
that's is that anything to do with this, Ricky?
Is it a man bun?
I don't know if these hats would be good for you, the dad hats, Ricky.
No, I'm talking about like the fitted lids hats that I wear, that I used to wear.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the one I was looking at yesterday is a good old Kraken hat because season's starting up. First season, I think, of the Kraken.
I saw the Kraken hats in Discord. Yeah. Those look actually good.
I have jumped ship, Sean. I'm no longer a Hawks fan. I'm officially a Kraken fan.
I didn't even know you were a Hawks fan. So.
Kind of. That's why I jumped ship.
It was a Hawks fan between. Wait, what year did they win the championship?
Yeah. Wait, what year was everyone so excited?
How many Kraken segments do you think you're going to do with Ricky?
Would be surprised. We did a baseball one that was brutal.
Yeah. The Blake Snell segment.
I made it very clear. Literally yesterday, right?
By the way, Dave, you were talking about saying like it is. Yeah. I was furious that night. I was complaining about you to anyone that would listen to me. My mother heard about you. Brandon heard about you. I think the watch along heard about you that night. Like.
You can't pay me enough to give a fucking baseball grade.
Jake can't control. I'm telling you, like the part that I loved most about it, which made me the angriest,
Yeah.
I tried to set you up, man. I tried. I was like, Dave doesn't like baseball. Let's get him with quotes. Let's try to throw a softball of like, hey, X team is above them. Should they be afraid? And the answer I got
the entire time
yeah,
you're talking.
Yeah. The answer I got was silence, and then a shrug with, I don't know, or I don't fucking know.
Glad to hear you haven't changed, Dave.
And you know what, Sean? Be true to you. That's what I always hear. You know?
Exactly. Just like Matt Nagy said, be you.
Oh, there you go. You quote Matt Nagy. I mean, who's going to complain about that?
Got a dry dude this year. He got one dry dude from Dave.
Oh yeah, Ricky's got our wet boy and dry dude stats on the year.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
All right. So first, a little bit of trivia. Sean, do you remember your first wet boy that you gave this year? Do you remember who it was?
I think it was Luca. I think it was January 4th.
Do you want to take another guess? Do you want me to give you the 3 teams that were wet boys that day?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Miami Heat, the Utah Jazz, and the Boston Celtics.
That should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, J-Tay, Donovan Mitchell, and then I don't think it was Jimmy Butler. I'd say it would be Bam.
So I gave a wet boy to Goran Dragic that day.
Oh!
Dave gave it to his boy Jumpin' Joe. And you had
Joe Ingles.
And you had Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
You had
So
Jaylen
triple
Brown that
surprise.
day.
Triple surprise. Yeah.
Also,
Who did I pick?
you picked Jaylen Brown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had Dragic, he had Joe, and then you had Jaylen Brown. Wet boy of the year for the NBA. We have a top 6. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say, like, is it kind of cool that one full year to the day, who's a wet boy today?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown
is going to be one. Who gave it to him? Who
again?
knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, his only 2 wet boys of the year, at the beginning and the very end. So our wet boys. Here's the runners up. So we got 5 of them runner up, 1 winner. Luka, Jamal Murray, Jason Tatum, and Lillard all finished with 2. LeBron James had 5. Sean, who's your favorite player in the NBA?
Luca.
No, not Luka.
Or Nikola Jokic.
7 wet boys. Nikola Jokic
Hell
is your winner for the NBA with 7 wet boys. I also want to ask you this because I mentioned this to Dave.
Fuck it, Jake.
Does it seem unfair that LeBron had 2 wet boys going into the finals and then got all the way up to 5 or 6? Just in the finals alone.
No, I mean,
He deserved them.
What LeBron James does. He saves the best for last every single year. I mean, how many times has he been the playoff wet boy? I think probably at least 3 fucking times in the 5 years we did that entire podcast.
Yep. He's not wrong.
He's insane.
Because I was hoping
I bet my car on him. What are you talking about here?
Yeah, I was taking the bus. You took the bus for a while because
The bus is great. The bus is great, especially during coronavirus.
Also, Sam,
I said as close as possible to everybody.
Sam is going to get mad if I don't mention this, by the way. Sam wants me to remind you that you owe me $20 because Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay because we apparently bet on it.
You probably owe me money. I think that you owe me for the Lakers thing. You have to shave your head.
Didn't count. They didn't play each other. They didn't play each other in the Western Conference Finals.
They didn't.
Okay, so your bum ass team got bounced in the first round. So you got.
Well, I mean, it was a bubble situation. The Clippers they're used to playing at home. It was a whole bad situation. The Nuggets were great. I keep telling
him now to shave his head. I think it would look good on him.
Because you brought it up, David. I was like, but they didn't play, and you're like, all right, technicality.
I still think he got to shave that head.
I mean, maybe one day. Who knows? When the old bald spot back here, I have 2.
Sean, it's kind of worse.
I have 2 problems now.
He leaned in hard one day.
Shit!
Okay. Sean got a little length.
You
got a little length to your game. Check. Oh yeah. Look at that.
it looks weirder in person.
Dude, in person, I got flow.
JD's telling me to get the mohawk.
I gotta bounce back to work, but it was fun catching up. And
I love you, Sean.
Absolutely, Sean. Miss you.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Soapy. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Jake.
Soapy and Sean exist at the same time. I proved it.
What up, Soapy?
He said you're afraid of him. Soapy's deaf and you can't hear any of it.
That's his fault. I tried to. I can't.
Oh, wait.
Sean,
Wait,
hold on.
what?
You're
Wait,
here.
what's happening?
You're with Sean. Sean's on the line.
Oh,
What's up, Soapy?
hey!
How you doing?
There we go. We got our Michigan brother over there. All right. Thank you, Sean, for stopping by.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was awesome. That was a great surprise. I did not expect Sean to be able to drop in on the dime for us.
I loved it. Oh, wrong one.
I miss him. Soapy, welcome. As always, you are.
Okay.
I don't want to say like. I'm so glad that you were able to transition from like a patron to
From a fan
host.
to a patron to a.
Yeah. All those steps involved.
Because the first time we mentioned Soapy was on Too Old to Game. We'd mention him a lot because he was the first guy to comment on our stuff.
Yeah. Soaps, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I may have an answer.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this. What was it like when you? I don't know. Like, how did it happen? How did you go from fan to patron to host of a show? Like, how did that transition happen? Was it you? Was it Ricky? I never actually heard like how things happen there, and I think that our fans would like to know. Like, because I love the content you and Ricky put out, but I don't. I'll be honest, as someone who should know, I don't know how that story came together.
Well, see, it's a weird mixture of. So obviously, I was active in the Discord for quite a bit, and it was whenever Sean had stepped away. Me and Ricky had just talked a lot in general, and it was one of those things of kind of in that transitional period. I was kind of just being like, you guys could do something like this, and I brought up something about bringing back a gaming channel, and that's kind of just what led into it. Like, it's not like a super exciting, like, I basically was on my hands and knees begging. It was basically just like here you go. And I just kind of got extended a hand to join, and I took it.
Okay.
When he says talk a lot, like there were times Soapy and I would be talking to where it'd be 6 a.m. I'd be like, well, I guess I should go to bed now.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah, dude, that one time it was bad.
Well, and it was also like that was when you were working at the car wash, so you would work more later than like you do now. So it'd be like there'd be times in the watch along where Soapy's like, I'm here at work, just at the car wash.
Yep.
Just working, talking wrestling. That's how the wrestling podcast formed. It was basically like, hey, we talk about it enough. Why not fucking just record it? I
You think Pete's doing anything tonight? Can I text Pete?
Fucking Pete. Would
Pete do Discord?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you mentioned earlier. Like, so Mark, Brandon, and Johnny. We also lost them this year because we never got back to that. Mark was just a travel mixed with being married, and then everything with like.
Starting a fam.
If he would have spent more time with the podcast, the podcast would, or the marriage would have ended.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole new twist that's going to happen to him. I can't wait to
talking
see.
about the the little Weber that's on the way.
Yeah.
That I think is due in is it like
it's got to be the next couple months. I remember seeing the post.
I see Facebook posts, and I will say
2 dogs, right? Two dogs.
I will say to Mark, pot calling the kettle black here. But I did see a picture. I was like, Mark's gained a little bit of weight, so it's
Mark
good to see
has
that he's
gained a
happy.
little bit of dad weight.
Mark
rocking that dad bod.
Rocking the dad bod hard. I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen the little bit of chub on Mark's face, but I love it. Why did what was the Brandon thing? I think Brandon's was.
I need another drink.
It had something to do with. It had something to do with work, and him not being able to do it anymore. I think
it was a time commitment back and forth, wasn't
That's
it?
right.
Because he was
because he was working at. That was when he was at
Indy,
Indiana.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was He was going between states to do his job.
That's
It's a big.
That's
like,
right.
hey, we do this out of passion. Like that's the thing that at the end of the day, I think everybody knows who's watching right now. But like for anybody on YouTube who's catching this video, it's like this is a passion thing for all of us. Like. Everybody who's left, we wish the best for them. And like, obviously if things were different, we'd love if they could come back and jump on it. And I'm sure they feel the same way. It's fun project to be part of. But I mean, Brandon's one of those guys who like, I didn't get like I was a friend through Ricky. It felt like know it was always Brandon through Ricky, but like I enjoyed talking with Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
His segments are always fun. He's always a high energy kind of guy. Like he brought it when he talked, and that always made it funner because I felt like he was the one who like I felt like could be in an arena doing actual casting of like a game.
Yeah, well, that's
like,
what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he had that kind of like presence to his voice,
and like that's what I think still wants to do. He's only 27. Let's be honest, still wants to do.
Text Brandon.
Text Brandon. See, he doesn't do Discord though.
Yeah, but if still text Brandon.
I'm not gonna fucking text him.
I would text Pete, but like you said, you're like he doesn't do this. Are you just calling him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking call him. I told you this is what I do. Like,
so would you answer a random call from Ricky? I wouldn't.
Brandon and I talk all the time.
My phone as is, so.
Brandon and I talked like for an hour and a half the other day.
Holy shit!
Yeah. When we talk, we talk. It's like an hour and a half at least. Yeah. We talk a lot about life, man.
I need more drinks. I'm too cans in.
I don't think he's gonna answer. We'll see.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Better hang up before it hits his numbers. Don't let the numbers read out loud.
Well, I forgot about that. You got 2 numbers. You got 8 and 1. Figure out the rest.
I was like, go Doc Brandon on our show.
I was gonna say, what a hell of a way to fucking be on the show.
Yeah, Soapy's here. We doxed Brandon live on Twitch. I mean, the Johnny thing though was
Johnny. I missed the fuck out of that guy, but I still like. I don't miss
Johnny.
I still am in a text group with him.
Well, you talk about Mark and his newest thing in life. Johnny's got a girlfriend now. Kudos to him. T's and P's.
Kudos, Johnny.
Is that
whole group? I feel bad because they are safely
just Johnny
hanging out. No.
For me, just Johnny. Like
sure. But I'm gonna say like that group of friends who we have who are in another city from us. Like they're safely hanging out. With COVID restrictions and everything, they're still hanging out, doing their thing, making sure everybody's clean. Worldwide calling. God no. And like I love to be able to like keep up with them and like some level of it. And it's very tough with COVID and everything going on. It's like Johnny was one of those guys who like he's not a very tech savvy person. That's why he steered away from MVP when the whole coronavirus hit. And
it wasn't even a steered away. It was a not even wanting to like try to see if Discord could be a thing. I
think he was intimidated by it.
Brandon's the same way. What the one show I did with Brandon, we did through Zoom because that's what Brandon understood. I was like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, Brandon, Discord's super easy. I'm like, you just I don't know about you, Soapy, like how long you've been using Discord, but for me, I was intimidated with Discord at first. Now I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's not hard to use. Like obviously, it's more intimidating of like, oh, like, do I have my volume set right? Because you don't want to join a Discord call and just blow everybody's ears out.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of like that kind of would be what I would be intimidated with, as well of like you may not know how, like whenever like if you're just using your webcam microphone, it may not work as well with Discord as you may want it to.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, and like. That's just the thing where, Dave, I was saying, like, I was intimidated when you were like Discord. I was like, all right, like, what is, like, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you were the one that knew, but like, now that I use Discord all the time, it's like, it's fucking awesome. Like, I had someone on my Facebook that I went to high school with that was like, hey, we got this group. Would Discord be a good thing to have different discussions going on in different ways? And before I even got halfway through, I went, yes. Just, yes, it would work. You can have voice channels. You can have, like, fuck it. Look at, I think I have our Discord up. Fucking, I mean, we're able to have, let me take the overlay down. Like,
yeah, just don't go watch along chat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of autocorrects. Don't show watch on chat. Wait, that's one thing. If I'm going to get on a tangent real quick
I'm not clicking on any chats. I'm just showing, like, here on the side, we have all the different text channels, plus you can have all the different like channels. Like, yeah, I feel bad. JD's just sitting there chilling and watching.
I just messaged JD. I told him I was gonna pull him in a minute. Okay. I just want to just get a confirmation.
But like, you're able to do all this and have different things. Yeah. Like that's why one of the things I loved it for was running a World of Warcraft guild. It made it a little bit more easier.
Yeah.
Except dealing with people. That part's never going to be easy.
People are the worst.
But go ahead, Dave. Bitch about watch along chat.
Y'all
Bitch
are
about what we talk about.
fucking weird. If there's an excuse to be yourself, like watch along chat is that opportunity to just be like, you know what? Fucking left field.
I will take most of the blame. I bring a lot of
Conversation
weird.
steers to weird. We have something called After Dark.
Yes, watch along after
Watch
dark.
along, After Dark. At which point the conversation gets 18 plus.
Yeah.
It gets very interesting for some people and uncomfortable for others. I think that it's very much you will know very quickly who you are as a person, how much you're willing to share about yourself and your experiences. Jake, we'll catch you in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that JD is someone who might have some something to say about that, perhaps. So I'll pull JD in.
JD's been in a lot of After Darks.
That's what I think. JD's an expert in the After Dark situation. So JD, if you want to introduce yourself to our fans who are watching this video at some point.
Yeah, so I'm JD. You know, I've been watching the guys for a while here. I'm from Toronto, Canada. So yeah, you know, just a 21-year-old living the dream.
And we appreciate that you've been following us for so long. JD is someone who we've gotten to know over, I want to say the last, is it about a year and a half? Or is it longer?
No, well, no, I became a patron in like April of last year.
Okay.
So,
All right, so 2019.
I've been a subscriber on YouTube since I was in high school. So at least like 2015, 2014.
That's
Holy
5
shit.
years.
He's an OG.
5 years.
Yeah.
OG out there.
It's been a while.
I clipped my finger on the fucking armchair and it hurts. Go ahead.
But
JD.
yeah. So JD, how would you describe our watch along After Darks?
Oh, great time, you know.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but you know, there's some. I don't want to say it on stream, but like,
right.
there's a certain side of Ricky that comes out a lot.
You get to know
get
a
Ricky.
whole lot more
You
about
get,
what Ricky likes and what Ricky doesn't like.
you get Ricky without the
really do.
without the barrier of like, can I not
no
say
filter.
this because we're on Twitch? Like
Right,
I could
there's
just
no
say it
filter anymore.
because no one's gonna fucking like. What's the word? There's no like consequence for saying certain words that Twitch doesn't want you to
Jesus.
say.
Okay, you know, you probably should, you know,
Don't leave it that
not
way,
say
'cause that sounds
certain
horrible.
words. That
No,
oughta
Rick-
come
like, okay,
real
Rick-
bad.
Ricky talks about things that you should not talk about publicly, but like with your closest friends, that's fine. And I think that's what Discord has kind of become. Is like it's our close.
Well,
friend
the
group.
joke I was making is more like how you can't say the V word or the S word anymore. That's what I was joking at. I can't say them, Dave, because we're on Twitch.
Right, you
Yeah.
can't say them on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the joke I was making. But like for one of the conversations we had, and I had to have this conversation because you have brought it up on stream before, of like the C word in general. Like I had to ask Retro, who's an Australian in our Discord, that I'm like, do you not use it because you're afraid of who in the Discord is offended? And right away, first 2 words I was right. Oh, for sure. Like for sure.
told you.
Like he's like he says it at least in Retro, quote me if you're watching this after the fact. Tell me if I'm wrong. About 30
Wish
times
he
a
was
day,
a
I
bit-
think he said.
In Australia.
It is so he is about 5 hours ahead of us.
That's it?
Yeah,
No, that doesn't seem right.
because at 10 o'clock it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon there, or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. It's either like
It's 12:49 p.m., so it's the middle of the afternoon right now.
Yeah, because the thing I know is that
If he's on the East
10,
Coast
at 10
of
o'clock,
Australia.
yeah, 10 o'clock it's like 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock his time. I think
So he's
so.
probably at work right now, maybe.
maybe I don't know. He works 2 jobs. That's all I know.
Afternoon chilling, you know.
Last night he was working as a bartender. I learned he was a bartender, and I'm like, now I got to go to Australia and fucking get Retro to make me drinks. Pay him to make me drinks. Chill out with the bartender,
Anyway.
Retro. I would drink if Retro was making me some drinks. I trust Retro enough to not slide anything in there. What are you googling, Dave? What are you googling?
I'm just asking him if he's busy right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean the watch. It's one of those things like, can the watch alongs get creepy? Yeah,
define creepy. It
creepy
will push your
meaning
boundaries.
like
I think that's the.
I will say this. Yesterday, we may have brought up porn stars. Just naming a couple by name, but like that is what I would say.
Not part of this.
I know you weren't.
I was sitting on the inside, just not talking.
Yes, I know.
Just judging.
It wasn't. See, notice the people we have already here. That 2 people already have like distanced me from this conversation.
Damn right.
I'm fully involved in this conversation.
I'm just saying it's a conversation. If you don't want to involve yourself in it, you don't have to. But it ain't like we're spewing like hate speech or anything. Like that's what it makes it sound like. Oh, don't put me in that conversation. Dave's got to do this. Dave's got to put the hand in front, see if that helps.
I'm all blurry.
Do you have to unplug the camera, plug it back in, IT guy?
I do.
Because Dave's a pixeled mess right now. Even the webcam's like, don't include me in this conversation. But yeah, like
You're trying to censor him.
I think it is a great time. Like we have fun on the watch along, and that's the bottom line. We have fun. Which if you want to be in the watch along, patreon.com/MVP vids. Uno Dolores a month. Get you into the watch along. Discord, you can get in for free. That's down below. Or I could do it.
Ricky's Discord, I blame.
All right. Okay. Everyone else is clear. I don't know. Maybe here I'll do one of these.
To be fair,
You're gonna say like that's some bullshit, right?
Just don't move, Dave. Just don't move. You're good right now. Just don't move.
The Discord's actually really good though. Like I mean, even I was talking to like my girlfriend and stuff about this. Like I talk to you guys probably more than like my IRL friends. I mean, it's a great community, and I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, like everyone's busy and stuff, but you know.
Right now, you guys are my IRL friends.
I was just
saying, Dave's my IRL friend right now. I don't see Sean at all. I love Sean. Don't see him. Don't see Mark at all.
About. Like literally, when we saw Sean, that was the first time I talked to Sean. Like
since he left, since April.
Like I've texted him like twice, but honestly, like it's just something that kind of falls out of mind with the whole
COVID shit.
I didn't know that he had moved into a new place. I didn't know any of that shit. That was all news. Ricky's got Facebook at least. Like you got a little bit of info, but
didn't fucking know. He doesn't put. Sean doesn't put anything on Facebook. That's the thing. Sean keeps everything close to the chest.
Some people may stalk you, Ricky. You gotta be careful about what you put out there.
I get that. I'm not trying to dox myself. That's the thing. Like, see, I'm the type of person where I am very open with stuff about my personality. I'm an open book. Like fucking like, because my whole mindset is, and maybe this is like the way I am with other people is, I'm either going to like you or not like you. Like there's usually very few people are in a middle ground for me. Either it's I'm cool with you or I'm not cool with you. Those are the two groups.
And it's very obvious to tell because like you're not gonna associate yourself with people you don't like. And I think that's good. Exactly.
Like there have been people in my life. I'm not going to go into the exact story. I'll just leave it vague of like, if I feel like you've got too much negativity in your life and like, I don't fucking want that in my life.
Dave?
Cut. Yeah, well.
That was an exception to the rule.
I'm an OG. I'm rolled in.
Yeah, you weren't always like this, though. That was the thing. Dave, as he has gotten older as an adult, has been like, hey, I can complain about stuff. As a kid, as a kid, you didn't complain as much.
I really didn't.
No. I mean, it was a simpler time.
Like I was the youngest of 3 boys, so like in my family, I don't share much. So I'm happy to share now. Like as the youngest of 3 boys, it was always I got the hand-me-downs. I got whatever was left was always the answer. So it was never a situation where I got like first dibs or I got priority on anything in life. So it was just hey, be happy with what you got. But I think once I moved out and once I lived alone, it changed my point of view a lot.
Yeah,
on like what in life matters to me and like when I care about things, when I don't care, and how I display that info. So like Ricky's right. I was much more of a be happy for what you have kind of a person for the majority of my life.
Well, I mean, hey, look at your personality. Like, go and watch the very first video that Dave, probably the first fast break, not even the first fast break. Like just one of the early videos with Dave, and how even when it came to talking basketball, Dave wasn't quite. It always felt like Dave wasn't as open, or like, I don't know what I should say, what I shouldn't, what I want to say, what I don't want to say.
Very afraid of what I was allowed to say, or what would sound right to say in a situation.
Or I feel like the part of it might have even been the how much of my personality do I put on this?
Yes.
Because now Dave has a personality, and I love it. Like,
now I'm an asshole.
Dave has a personality, and it's just like fucking like, it's fun to do a show with. Not that it wasn't fun to do a show then. Like, you and I, it's different though.
I think I tried to be what ESPN was.
Yeah.
And because I watched so much ESPN, like that was who I was trying to put forward, was the ESPN version of a kid watching sports.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that came off in the show. I'm sure you know it was about 20% Colin Cowherd, about 80% ESPN generic.
Oh, he pissed me off today. What'd
the herd say?
So he did his 5. He was talking about New Year's resolutions. And he said there are some resolutions he's made, like he used to be a nail biter. And 5 years ago, he said, I'm not going to bite my nails anymore. He says, I haven't bit my nails in 5 years.
I used to be a nail biter too.
I guess he made a New Year's resolution last year that he did not want to disclose, but it hasn't gone well. And even his co-host, she was like, yeah, when you told me about that, she's like, I knew right away it wasn't gonna work. But yet again, he wouldn't disclose that. So he gave 5 New Year's aspirations for sports. Okay. Like things he wants to see in 2021. There was one like Miami and USC being top 10 teams again in football.
Oh,
that's one of them was Carson Wentz reunited with Frank Reich. And he got to the last one, the 5th one, and he says he wants LeBron to get another ring and wants to go back to back. And his point was that if LeBron wins a title this year, that it'll prove something that the Jordan purists can't take away from him, that he can win titles with multiple teams, because that's something that Jordan never could. And I just like, with me, I was just sitting there as a Jordan fan. I was like, yeah, but when Jordan switched teams, he was past his prime. Like,
that was Jordan just trying to stay in the sport.
Yeah, it was trying to stay in the limelight, not, hey, I'm going to go and try to win a ring. Like, Jordan was a bull for life. Like, I don't think you could say it would be different if Jordan left in the late 90s and then couldn't win.
Actually, this is something that I'm glad we have JD and Soapy in here for, because you and me, we both grew up in the Chicagoland area.
But Soapy's a LeBron guy, so he's going to side with LeBron.
No, I'm not asking that question. I'm not asking that question.
Okay.
Saying, like, since you guys both are much younger, like, how did you view, if at all, like, how did you look at Jordan's years in Washington? Like, what did that mean to you guys? Like, was that, like, you still got to see Jordan, so you enjoyed it? I know, like, Sean was younger than us, and he actually got a Washington Jordan jersey and liked that, because that was, like, Jordan for him. He got to see, like, the tail end of Michael Jordan's career. What do you guys think about Jordan's years in Washington?
Well, see, I gotta specify. When did he play in Washington? Because I may have been too young to remember this.
So Jordan, 2001. It was a 2001, 2002 season, 2003, 2000, or basically from 01 to 03. 2 seasons.
So that ain't gonna work out too well for me, because I was 1 to 3 years old.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a year older than Soapy, so I mean, it's kind of same with me. So like, I mean, I've seen highlights, and like my cousin, who is he's like 32. He actually saw Jordan live against the Raptors, and he said that like Jordan lost the step, but it was still probably one of the coolest things that he's got to witness, seeing like, well, the GOAT live, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, but like also like just. Unfortunately, like, I didn't get to experience it like from a live TV standpoint, but like just from highlights and just like going back, is still kind of like it was weird, I think, because like when you think of Jordan, you think of the Bulls, right, not the Wizards. But so I feel like it was kind of like a little awkward like transition, but yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why and obviously, I don't want to say steering the conversation away from the Bulls part or the Wizards part, but more of like I feel like that's why, for instance, like I view myself as like a LeBron fan for the GOAT, because it's like I grew up with LeBron. Because you got to think, like, my first years watching basketball was LeBron's rookie year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because obviously I think that was the year the Pistons and Spurs won against Pistons and Lakers won against each other in the finals.
Oh, 304, right?
I think so. I may be wrong about that, but like that was my first time ever watching basketball, and afterwards I just kept watching it. So it's one of those things that seeing that, I think that's why I have such like a connection to LeBron. Like I basically grew up watching LeBron become a better and better player.
It's funny to hear you guys say like the first part of like the age thing, because I basically right away when I heard you guys say how old you were for those times, I was like, oh, so it was like how old Dave and I were during the first three-peat. Yeah, because I was 1 to 3 during the first 3 titles.
My first memory of like Jordan was him the following year from his comeback. So it wasn't 45 Jordan. It was the following year. So it was championship Jordan again. And like, I didn't know, but my parents obviously were like, hey, we got this. I think I got a Bulls blanket that was like a, 1 through 3 titles, kind of like three-peat thing. And then I eventually got the 6 title blanket that I think my family still has 2 of, which is kind of cool.
I remember I had the white shirt that they had, the like white shirt that was like 3-peat, the second 3-peat for.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was that oversized, because when I was a kid I was weird. I would wear to bed just like boxers and an oversized shirt.
You're a big shirt guy.
Yeah, which was weird on pajama day, because I remember in first grade being like, I can't wear my pajamas. My teacher's like, why? I'm like, because I wear underwear and a t-shirt, and that's it. Yeah. And they're like, just put pants on. I was like, but that's not what I wear to bed. That's not my PJs, so I'm lying. I'm a fraud then. I'm what Jake says I am. I'm a fraud. But also the reason why it pissed me off in a sense, because I'm a Bulls fan, that's why it pissed me off. Yeah. But Jordan, before he was with the Wizards, retired for 3 years and then came back to play. That's pretty different than LeBron, who's basically been just different. Also, it's a different time. Like even then, like we weren't thinking about nutrition and stuff the way they do now. And
smoking stogies and drinking mid-game.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't doing that in the late 90s or early 2000s. Like, that was kind of getting more away. But I'm just talking about, like, the sports science part of it didn't get better. So it's like, to me, I saw that, and it's like, Colin, that's just you trying to take a shot at Jordan that you don't need to take. That's why it pissed me off. It wasn't even anything.
He's always got an agenda.
Yeah, and I feel like he used to be a guy that was for MJ early on.
He was always MJ is the guy, and LeBron James is a ascending star, but he'll never reach that plateau. And I know, Ricky, you are on that same point of view of the plateau. You know who I'd love to hear from? This is now a guest show. Sam. Okay. One of our OG followers, Sam.
We're just going to add everyone. Dave's just going to add everyone to the call.
I am eventually. Jake will.
Eventually, we have to end the show because it's an hour 15, and we got to do Wet Boys.
Nah, this show's going until midnight.
We got to do Wet Boys. It ain't going until midnight. I'll tell you that.
Midnight, bitch.
I want to eat and then do a fucking Twitch stream where we're playing World of Warcraft, Dave. That's what I want the fucking New Year's stream to be. This is a show.
Drinking, we're not going to make it to midnight, bro.
Well, I'll make it to midnight.
This is 8.5 per can.
Sam left.
Sam just left.
Sam's like, fuck this shit.
I tried to get him in here. He wouldn't do it.
No, he doesn't want to come in.
I'll bring Jake's bum ass in here.
Yeah, Jake's gonna go on. Like, there we go. I'll kick him out if he starts getting out of hand. Mind,
like Jake. Like earliest sports memory as far as basketball goes. Like, what got you to be a fan in basketball? Was it just LeBron James, like from the get go, or what was it?
It was Carmelo Anthony at Syracuse.
Really?
Was my
because he's a Syracuse guy.
I'm a Syracuse guy. So then I was the Melo fan for a lot of years. When I have my Melo Nuggets jerseys and my Nuggets hats and all that. And then I just ever since then. But I don't know. That's also because LeBron was from the same draft class. So that's probably why I have a soft spot for LeBron. Probably the same thing with Sophie. And he's what I grew up with. The true GOAT and all that.
were you a college basketball guy at first because of the Syracuse connection, or were you just like, I saw this guy play and I knew something was special about him, kind of person?
Yeah, I was a baseball guy at first, and then I watched Melo play basketball, and then I just fell in love with basketball ever since. It's just been, Melo's the man. Not so much anymore, but 15 years ago, Melo was the fucking man.
No, I mean, go ahead, Ricky.
Funny thing, Jake brings that up because I will never forget my sister's first boyfriend in high school. I would always fuck with him because I was a LeBron fan then. Like, I was LeBron and Kobe, and I was on the LeBron side. Yeah. I would always fuck with him because I was like, oh, who's your favorite basketball player? Because he played basketball. And he's like, oh, I like Carmelo Anthony. I was like, wait, come again? Like, at the time, I didn't realize. I was expecting Kobe or LeBron. There was no third option. And he was like Melo, and I was always fucking with him that LeBron's better than Melo. And he would tell me I'm wrong. This was Melo on the Nuggets.
Oh, dude, those teams with Chauncey Billups and J.R. Smith and JaVale McGee and dude, Kmart, dude, Al Harrington, dude.
I miss those teams.
The powder blue jerseys.
The powder blue Nuggets jerseys. Nikola Jokic better never get to wear those because he would disgrace them. That's the second best center in the league behind Joel Embiid.
So you're upset that Jokic is the wet boy winner for the NBA?
No, because he'll be the only trophy he ever wins in his career. So.
Actually, Ricky, that's a great thing. Like, let's bring in the wet boys of the year. Like we talked a little bit about with Sean in here, Jake's older brother.
Oh my god!
So
he's like 8 months older than me.
I mean, hey, that's older.
Oh god!
And I still have $1 million more.
Yeah, Jake's a millionaire. We all know that. But
I have something first though, Dave.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna put this on the old stream here. This is who Sean said Dave looks like, and I realized Crispin Glover is Marty McFly's father.
No, he'll always be Renee from Storage Wars.
Hey, my face getting real red. I just noticed that from my wall. I just looked. I'm laughing too much.
I like how you type in any guy and it's just like wife is the first one that comes up.
Yeah, guys are creepy.
So look at Dave if you want.
No, not what I wanted. I want to do Dave.
Hang on, I can do the comb over the hair to fit that guy.
I know it's a little pixelated on Dave's end, but God, that's the best thing Fred ever brought to the table.
You want me to call Fred right now?
Is it Dave? Please.
Yes.
Please.
Hold on.
Call Fred.
I'll call Fred. Hold on.
And then we'll do Wet Boys and end the fucking show. Also, while he's calling Fred.
So pixelated.
This is Dave. This is how we looked in our first episode of Sports Live, by the way.
Man, I look like an asshole.
Yeah, but you have look at your how short your hair was and how like no beard I have.
So professional.
Oh, you did have no.
Because I had that interview I had to shave for.
The motherfucker sent me the voice. Oh my god.
Oh no!
You
text
Fred
him.
sent you the voicemail.
Text him and tell him Ricky and Dave are here.
Tell Fred he's about to be live on Twitch.
And you will be about to have this stream
live on Twitch. Don't say anything.
I texted him that Ricky and Dave want to say. I won't tell him that you're on Twitch. Just see what he says.
Oh, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to talk to Fred. Oh man.
So Sam wants in the recording.
Oh yeah. Let me give Sam another chance. Another Bulls fan and Sam, one of our longest patrons, I believe.
There you go.
Sam, are you there?
Yes.
Delightful. Okay, Sam. The question I tried to set you up for earlier when I tried down the first time, but something went wrong. Obviously, when did you first start watching the NBA, and like what player got you hooked on the sport?
MJ, without a doubt.
All right, Sam's one of our older viewers. MJ makes perfect sense. What year do you remember? What year it was? Like what MJ was doing at the time? Was he like a rookie? Was he like just starting the title charge when he was like 88, 89, or what time period?
Yeah, probably start of the first three-peat. That's what got me hooked.
Nice. And as far as the discussion goes, I hate to be something's gotta go. As far as that discussion goes, like MJ's championship run, was amazing and special in every possible way. What do you make of the later years for Michael Jordan, like the Wizards years, I want to say? Like, is that always just like an afterthought? Is that not even included in your vision of Michael Jordan? Because a lot of people try to obviously compare, LeBron's career to Michael Jordan's career, and when we have to include Jordan's post-career in Washington, there becomes an asterisk. Like, what do you view that Washington time period as?
No, it's like how Michael sort of later regretted it down the line. He's like,
He cut out.
Did we cut out?
Yeah, Sam.
He
cut
said
out.
it's like, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, I think Sam's internet cut out. It's pulling a soaps.
I do want to say I remember vividly Ricky saying in a video whenever the Lakers didn't make the playoffs on LeBron's first year as a Laker, he's like, "This is gonna turn out just like Jordan in a Wizards uniform.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is exactly the same thing." And then what did he do? And then what did he do, Ricky?
Here's the thing I love by
that Lakers team is pretty bad.
so
though.
you know how we were talking about like when we were talking about Sean and we were talking about we were talking about Sean and like why he left and stuff.
Yeah.
I will say, and I never said this out loud before. There was a time with the fast break I absolutely hated being on the fast break.
I know that.
I hated it.
That's not a secret, Ricky.
Like
Yeah,
Brandon was my sounding board of where like numerous times I'd be like, I fucking hate this show. Like,
Yeah.
I hate being on it.
That's not
I
a
know.
secret.
I know every time we try to do it.
I tried not to say bad things because I was on the show, but yeah, because I became a fucking like what you said. It's like I became a caricature to
Yes,
where
you
it was like, well, they agree with each other. I have to be on the opposite end, so my opinion has to be wrong because I have to go to that extent.
No.
Well, when you put Zach,
I
Levine
have
as
to
your
be
franchise
after it was
player,
like, oh, Ricky's the Skip Bayless. I'm like, well, that's the area I'm gonna live in because I have to.
The problem was you were there once, and I felt like you leaned in.
Oh yeah, he did.
Well,
That,
I mean,
like you were like, oh, so you guys don't agree with me? Well, I'll make sure that I'm that guy from now until forever.
well, it was more of a not the fans or the commenters. It was more of like a
With you and me. It
yeah,
was
with
me and
you.
Sean.
I leaned in more against Sean because like I'm just gonna go up against you, and Sean and I disagreed on almost everything.
Yeah.
Almost
that is
everything.
fair.
It was a little tough. It was a little tough sometimes because I
To where like now I don't have that hatred anymore. It's not Sean not being here. It's just there's
Ricky,
no.
my reaction.
It
to your
also
comments in the past. I would just hard stare into camera
It
at points when I had
like-
nothing to say.
and you know how they say don't read the comments, Dave.
Can't not read the comments.
Like the We Agree podcast could like I love the idea of the bit,
yep.
but then it added on to that of like I'm pushed as the odd man out where it's like Dave and Sean are over here, they know their basketball, Ricky's pushed out, Ricky's the odd man out. It's the We Agree podcast and then whatever weird shit Ricky's got to say that day.
I did. Fred texted me, tell him to have a happy and healthy New Year, and I'm still waiting to be asked on.
Okay. We'll invite Fred officially one day. That will
that will never happen.
We'll schedule with Jake and Fred.
Jake won't let it happen.
Jake, next time you're over there, let us know. We'll schedule get you both you guys on there.
Well, hopefully next year, COVID at least somewhat regresses, and I actually can go to Chicago again.
Oh my God, I can't wait. If we all get our COVID vaccines in 2021, you and Fred, United Center, me and Ricky, let's go.
Oh, we can watch the Sixers somehow lose to the
Hey,
Bulls again.
or do we go to Wells Fargo?
Oh, come to Philly.
I've
Center.
never been to the Wells Fargo Center.
No, I would
Go to Philly.
go to Philly for a couple days.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about certain parts of that town.
Some good, some bad. No.
So you guys come across the border and
come to Toronto, eh?
JD, your team's in Tampa Bay now. Deal with the reality.
Tampa Bay.
No, his team's in Boston.
True.
Yeah. I don't like the
God that he's
Raptors.
a Celtics fan.
JD's like, I hate the Raptors.
Just because he's confusing you thought he was a Raptors fan?
I did. I'm sorry. I took the easy route there.
Dave, we got to wrap up the show. I feel bad.
Someone else can watch along.
I feel bad because we have to wrap up the show, and I want to wrap it up with you and I because we got to give Wet Boys still.
Bye.
We got to give our Wet Boys.
I'm gonna return everybody to watch along. Bye, everybody.
I hate to be that guy, but hour and a half, and I would like to eat tonight before midnight.
Food would be great.
I would like to eat dinner before midnight.
Several cans deep.
I know. Dave, dampest of dudes, sagas of shooters, moistest of men, whatever the deal. I picked the right one. I just picked it out of the fucking sky. Dave, we'll just go with you. Who's your wet boy today? Who's your guy?
It's LaMelo Ball. It's one of the stars of this year's draft. He has been amazing with his facilitation ability in the first couple games of the year. But this game, his offensive game came together as a whole. His shot fell, and I'll be honest with you. It didn't look pretty, but it went in. The ball went into the bucket, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. LaMelo Ball had something specially put together last night, and I want to give him credit because one of the biggest problems with LaMelo Ball in the draft, a lot of people said, was his shot. And yes, it ain't pretty, but it goes in. So let's be happy. Let's celebrate LaMelo Ball, the offense that he provides off the bench for that Charlotte Hornets team, which Gordon Hayward, low-key, amazing addition to start this year. I think he has been a huge influence on this team. I think he's a great personality to have around. He's a former star who's sort of still in that like star light kind of category in the NBA as far as it's concerned. He does a lot of little things for the team, but this is a young up and coming team who is fun to watch because LaMelo Ball is making insane passes. And this game, he knocked down insane shots. If you watch the highlights from this game, he is incredible. And again, just don't watch the missed shots from game 1 or game 2 because those are ugly, and we don't want to admit that.
I mean, I'm staying with the basketball as well. 3 basketball wet boys to end the year.
I love it, Ricky. I love it.
Kawhi Leonard, only his 3rd wet boy of the year. Is that shocking? I mean, it didn't play well in the bubble, but like,
was it mask Kawhi?
It was mask Kawhi. I don't even like. The numbers were good. The team won. I don't even care or know because this is the one game I didn't watch from the night. I don't care or know if he was guarding Dame Lillard, but Dame Lillard did not have a good game for me in fantasy, so I'm going to give it to the best player on the Clippers.
Did you hear his press conference?
No, I didn't. I saw the mask that looked like Bane.
Ricky, he openly shopped Serge Ibaka from his team.
What?
Yes. He literally went on air on press conference. Like, if anyone's interested in Serge Ibaka, kind of a comment. Like he just mentioned, like a comment about shopping Serge Ibaka.
So it's not working in.
It was
LA?
very funny. It was like that Kawhi, like dry sense of humor. That awkward laugh. That laugh. It was great. Everything about Kawhi's situation there was fantastic. So I love the fact that you picked Kawhi.
Baby?
Love the fact that Kawhi. I love the Serge Ibaka interaction. It seems like they're more of a team this year than they were last year with the snitch known as Montrezl Harrell.
Oh, and now Laker fans are turning on him quicker.
He's snitch.
Yeah.
We all know it.
Yeah. The patrons, Dave, JD can give you this wet boy, but it's Jaylen Brown. You even said, you're like, if the patrons don't take Jaylen Brown, I want him, but fucking 42 points in the game.
What a game.
Yeah, what a game, Dave. Go ahead, talk about it.
No, I mean, like, Jaylen Brown has been the constant surprise to us. And I think that's really inspiring because he's someone who, coming into the draft out of UCLA, was an athletic hype beast who was like, man, this guy's got all the raw tools to be a superstar in the NBA. But it's like, can he continue to grow his game? What's his drive like? And I feel good for the Boston Celtics and for Brad Stevens and for everyone in that coaching staff in general, just how much he's built his game. And I'll be honest with you, this year, Jaylen Brown here, Jason Tatum here. Jaylen Brown,
do you remember what we said about Jaylen Brown, Dave, when he was drafted? Because Celtic fans will bring that up.
Hater.
We both were.
I was just questioning his game at the time. You were a full-blown hater.
It's not like I hate him. I thought that it was a bad pick, and I hated the pick for sure.
Yeah, and again, we're going to be wrong every now and then.
Who?
I'm very much a hater of Isaac Okoro, who's had some very good games and some very bad games in the start of the season. So I would like to say to the Celtics, I love Jaylen Brown on this team. Do not trade him for James Harden. Please, for the love of God, do not trade him for James Harden. Like, this would be a terrible move. I hope that you guys continue to enjoy Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the Jays for the future. Kemba Walker, scumbag. Clearly, move on from him. But like Peyton Pritchard, love the play on the bench. I like what he's doing for you. I think a lot of those younger pieces are working out well for you guys. So I'm enjoying what the Celtics have put together. I hope they don't become one of the teams who are just like throwing assets at the Rockets. I think that belongs to a team like the Rockets or perhaps even the Heat. And I can't wait to see where that lands. But Jaylen Brown, a round of applause for Jaylen Brown and what he's done to start the season and picking up right where he left off last season.
Dave, and now the greatest honor. We crown our Wet Boys of the Year. So
we already had our Golden Wet Boys. Can we announce our 3 Golden Wet Boys of last year?
So our 3 Golden Wet Boys in order. The first one, David Stern. The late David Stern. We crowned him a Wet Boy very early into the year. It was like the end of January.
It was a very hard start to the year for the NBA. I think
literally the second podcast of the year, we crowned him a Golden Wet Boy.
We lost David Stern early. That was, that was a surprise. That was completely out of like left field. We didn't expect that to happen. I can't even imagine what his family and his loved ones felt losing someone who was so important to the sport, to the NBA as a whole movement, like worldwide. Like, he was so critical to the elevation of the game in the last 2 decades. What are you laughing at? I can't tell.
Shit, I finally broke because JD's like, wow, some Celtics praise. Y'all so nice. And it made me think, oh yeah, the Celtics are living in Dave's head rent free. Especially Kemba Walker. The Blog Boys. The Blog Boys.
The Blog Boys. It's KOC. KOC living in my head. I'm trying to say something nice for David. Can't do it. Can't do it. Point being,
David Stern.
David Stern, great guy. He did a lot for the game. He grew the game massively. And, we lost him earlier this year to something that, like, honestly, like, no one could have seen coming. So that was very tough. And then followed by our next Golden Wet Boy honor,
Kobe. Like, and here's the thing about Kobe. So on the episode, we never actually said Golden Wet Boy, but that was only because Sean was a little weary about it because of obviously things. But I'm going to say, fuck it. Golden Wet Boy, Kobe Bryant. Like, deserving of it.
He's someone who changed the game. He was an international ambassador.
Yeah.
He was one of the greatest players we've ever seen. He transcended the sport, I would say. He became an international icon on the same level as the stars of today. He's someone who changed the game and grew in the footsteps and modeled his game after the greatest player we had seen at that point.
Hashtag off the court.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't going to bring it up. And then the third one for, he got this Wet Boy. So he got a Wet Boy for 0 COVID cases in the bubble. And then, Dave, I was watching it today. On the fly, I was like, what, you think he deserves a Golden Wet Boy? You're like, yeah, he does. I'm like, what, you want to give it to him? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck it, Golden Wet Boy. And we decided on the podcast, Golden Wet Boy, Adam Silver.
Adam Silver. Let's talk about guys who changed the world. Adam Silver.
Who brought basketball back.
Not only brought basketball back, but he stopped basketball, which chain reaction got the USA as a country to realize how critical this issue was. And I think that goes without like much consideration when you look back on the events of March, I believe, right? It was late
March.
It was March.
Yep. Since March, we've been in this COVID time.
Basically, Rudy Gobert's press conference where he mocked COVID as basically a joke and started touching
all the mics. Yeah.
David Stern understood. No, I'm sorry, Adam Silver. I'm still like about David Stern passing, but yeah, Adam Silver had to make the hardest decision possible as far as the sports are concerned, and he canceled the season right there. He's like, "Hey, we're on hold. We are hard on hold right here. Put a pause on the season. Your game." I still remember watching the reaction to, oh God, what is his name? The billionaire on the Mavs.
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban, getting the news on the sideline.
Yep. And being
The
like,
season is just on hold. It was just a hard stop on hold at that point. Like, hey, this will be the last game we see played. And Rick Carlisle calling that Boban get all the plays for the remainder of the season, which was hilarious. Watching Boban play out like a star to end the normal season before the bubble.
Yeah.
But the fact that Adam Silver coordinated a bubble effort, brought sports back safely, and made sure that, hey, we're taking this seriously. And he also worked with the Players Association, LeBron James, Chris Paul, and the rest of the league to allow them to make that a platform for free speech.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. I love the idea that Adam Silver has
in
been
the
most
bubble, we had the
progressive-
day where basketball was shut down for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a couple days. I think it was 2 days.
Yeah, you're right. Because it was the
was
Bucks
2 or 3.
decided not to play their game against the Magic. And then
Yeah.
it was the next 2 days they didn't play games.
Yeah, I believe so. So, again, like Adam Silver, I think, was a great leader as far as the team was concerned, the team of the NBA. But, like, in the nation of America, like, it was crazy how much the impact of the sports world affected the actual, like, real life.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like Gobert and Adam Silver decided that, hey, like, this whole situation, we're wrapping things up. We're going to put things on hold. And then literally days after, America went into massive shutdown. So I want to give credit to him. And I want to say that, like, that was a really well done job, not only to stop things because we knew there was a serious problem, but also to start things in the bubble safely.
Yep.
And we got to enjoy sports again, which
Yeah.
was a awesome feeling because, like, at the time, I don't know if you remember in NASCAR, there was a whole controversy around a potential racial situation happening.
It was the noose in the garage.
Correct, which turned out to be a doorstop, but still it was like, let's bring attention to it. As long as we're here, let's bring attention to it. So I think that Adam Silver did a good job managing the situation. I think he's been a fantastic leader and spokesperson for the NBA in general. So he deserves it. Kobe, and David Stern.
It's
all
weird
like,
that all 3 Golden Wet Boys have been this year. I thought one of them was last year.
No.
Yeah.
It was a tough year. I mean, for everybody, but like those 3 guys did a lot.
Yeah. So I've already been thinking about next year, Dave. Next year, I'm going to have extra graphics made for the winners of these. Also, like, there's a lot of sports, like for baseball. We have 3 guys who all finished with 2 each. And next year, I think we're going to have a fan vote for the ones that are tied on.
Who are ties in the MLB?
Well, the first thing I do want to mention is back to basketball if you missed it. Jokic is the Wet Boy winner. 7 this year. LeBron had 6. And then Lillard, Tatum, Murray, and Doncic were all tied with 3 through 6. So we technically had a top 6. In baseball, our top 3, all of them finished with 2. Baseball overall, and I should list this too for basketball, we had 62 players in the NBA get at least one Wet Boy this year. 62
I feel really
players.
good about that.
That is with the Goldens added into that because they were a part of the
but
NBA.
Still, I feel good. Like, again, the whole point of the Wet Boy in my heart was always to spread the love around the league. It wasn't just to give to the generic player of the week, kind of situation.
Also, question for you, Dave. Duncan Connaughton. What?
So hang on, Soapy makes a very good point here.
How did he not end with 1 million? Well, here's the thing.
Zach LaVine not end up as the #1 Wet Boy of the year?
So Zach LaVine only had 3 Wet Boys. Here's the thing. Dry dudes, there will be a dry dude. That the very first episode of the year, it was I wanted to give a dry dude to a player. Sean didn't like it. So that's why that week I'm like, fuck it, Zach LaVine. And we bitched about that Wet Boy. And I wholly said that, I wanted to give this dry dude, but you wouldn't let me. So to spite you, I'm going to pick Zach LaVine. That was 1. And then he got 1 this year from me like 2 days later, the next week, because that was when I picked Zach, you picked Cam Reddish, and Sean picked Markelle Fultz.
That's a hell of a week.
That was a good week.
Right there.
And then his only other Wet Boy is when me and you picked the sweet life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
So those are his 3 Wet Boys. He should have had 4. I took it away because I went with the dry dude because listening to me talk, I was more passionate about it. And that's what I really wanted to do. So fuck it. The dry dude stayed, and Zach only got 3. Also, I wanted to throw out that Duncan Connaughton, Dave, since he was your wet boy.
Duncan Connaughton.
Does it count for one wet boy or 2 wet boys? 1 or 2? What's the ruling? Because I put 2 question mark.
It's combined player.
So it's 1.
I think 1 to each is fair.
Okay, so 2 total.
Connaughton and Duncan Robinson put together a shooting performance like nothing we'd ever seen before. The efficiency from the floor from these 2 fellows was very impressive, and I think they both deserve equal recognition for that.
How creepy that wet boy card was, too.
It was disturbing.
I wish I had it on fucking beck and call, but I don't.
That's all right. The point is that 3-point shooting has changed the league. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors changed the league, and I can never thank them enough because the NBA is a different place than it was before, and it's a better place. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What's funny about it to me is that Pat Connaughton on the Bucks again was part of the record-breaking effort that we had seen from them when they scored 29 3-pointers, broke the NBA record over the Rockets' 27 previous record. I mean, it's special. It's very cool that the Rockets, had held that record. Also, 27, a very special number to the Rockets fans. 0 for 27. Sorry, I have to mention it again.
Yeah. Baseball, though, Dave, we had 28 players get a wet boy this year. Get at least one.
Were 28 of those players recommended by you?
No, well, not all of them. Some of them were patron, and one of them was Brandon.
Yeah,
because the one Brandon was on, was no. You even gave one too. I think yours was Lucas Giolito. You gave one to him.
I went local. Yeah, that's smart.
So I think Dave had one, Brandon had one, the patrons had maybe about 4 if I'm being generous, and then the rest were me. We had a 3-way tie at the top though. We had you, Darvish had 2, Trevor Bauer had 2, Clayton Kershaw had 2. I gave all 6 of these. Here was the decision. You was gonna come in last. Because Bauer won the Cy Young this year, and Clayton Kershaw, both of his wet boys, came in the World Series.
That was special.
You and I kind of decided that 2 wet boys in the World Series is better, so Clayton Kershaw is our wet boy of the year for the MLB. The NFL, we had a total of 41 NFL players get a wet boy this year, with 5 wet boys. Who is 2 better than who finished in second place. So the second place with 3 wet boys was Derrick Henry. You have also Joe Burrow.
A monster.
Yeah, you've got Burrows, Wilson, Mahomes, Tannehill, and Dalvin Cook because of ties for 3. They all make the podium.
Well done.
Aaron Rodgers, your wet boy of the year, though. MVP in the league, MVP in my heart, wet boy of the year.
Aaron Rodgers, can I just say this?
Take it away, Dave.
He got the bump from being on the McAfee Show weekly. Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. If you guys don't watch,
he also played good too.
Wait, what was that?
He played well too. That's the thing.
Well, no, he's the MVP of the season. We know that.
Yeah.
But his play was complemented by his appearances on the Pat McAfee Show, showing personality, showing how much of an actual guy he is. He's very relatable. He's very likable. As a Bears fan, I hate the shit out of the Packers, but I can't not like Aaron Rodgers now.
Correct and
situation.
I'm correct and soapy. These are not golden wet boys. The only 3 Goldens where you win, that's like a special honor. This is it would be MVP and wet boy of the year.
Correct. And Aaron Rodgers.
Should we send these guys golden sponges for wet boy of the year?
I would love if we came up with an actual award for Aaron Rodgers to send him, because that would be special. That would be special. It would be very cool, and I think he may acknowledge us on social media at that point.
Because there was somebody that did that,
and they got credit for it. I bet you.
Yeah, they sent him to YouTubers, because I only know because he sent one to Kind of Funny. Yeah, and Kind of Funny was like, "Look at the trophy he made us." I think that would be awesome.
Be cool with that. Again, Aaron Rodgers, amazing year. Should be the MVP of the NFL. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes had a good year, but not a great year. He did not blow out teams like we expected. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, stud. Just stud.
Yeah. NHL, we had a total of 5 wet boys this year. That all 5
Ricky.
players. No, there was a patron one in there too.
Okay,
Nathan McKinnon was a patron one for sure. The only one that finished with 2, Nikita Kucherov for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Take it away.
Kucherov, he just played like there was one of the games, and this is the moment I remember most, is they played Boston, and he had a good game against Boston, and you had the great line of, "Ooh, Tampa Bay doing it twice. First they take Tom Brady, now Kucherov beats the Bruins." So I like that one. But yeah, Nikita Kucherov.
I
also,
remember that episode.
yeah. Also, the other ones that got one: Thatcher Demko, Braden Point. Braden Point, the big talking point was you said he looks 17 because he looks 17.
Looks like a fucking kid out there.
Which
he moves well.
Fun fact, there is a majority of the NHL players who are so young yet so good they can't drink.
Really?
They're under 21. Like there are a lot of
What's the drink?
Like Canada might be different, but like in most of the league, because most of the league is in like. Yeah, there's only like 6 Canadian teams, I think, JD. Yeah, JD says that was from me, Braden Point then. So more than 2 for the patrons.
It's 19 in Canada.
Okay, 19.
18 for Manitoba, Quebec, and Alberta.
Yeah, JD says he's young. He's 20 or 21.
So yeah, he can drink.
Like, there are some where it's like, shit, some of them can't drink legally in the United States.
In the U.S., but in Canada they can. So
then you have Dennis...
Here it's 19. Okay, cool.
Gorinov. I used to be able to say that name when I gave him the wet boy for the Dallas Stars. And then Nathan McKinnon, who Colorado Avalanche, who got a wet boy. So we had about 4 of them there. College football, Dave. We had a total of 13 college football players make the podium. The only 2 that got more than 1. Jarrett Patterson from the No One Circles the Wagons like the Buffalo Bulls.
Yes.
The running back.
Yes. I was going to say the Buffalo Bulls is an amazing college story, Ricky. But I'm glad you highlighted them too, because there's someone who national coverage doesn't get the love, but local.
3 Bulls wet boys. Patterson got 2, but their quarterback also, Kyle Van Trees, I think, got 1 as well.
They ran up the scores on people like nobody else. And I had to ask Ricky. I remember in the past it was like, is that okay? Like in college football?
I think it is.
At that level?
I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
at that
it is.
level? Yes.
Here's the question, Dave. We might have to have a segment. Who is the best quarterback in the NFL draft? Because if you're asking wet boys, Kyle Trask is your wet boy of the year in college football.
Oh.
He had a total of 4 wet boys this year. Blew everyone else out of the water because the next highest was 2, and then Trevor Lawrence only got 1 wet boy, Dave.
Trevor Lawrence is weird because he doesn't look like he's ungodly. Like his numbers do not stand out, but when you watch him play, you just see something special in him and the way he reads the defense, the way he plays the situation out every time. He knows how the defense is going to run, where he needs to be, how to play the pressure. Like, there's something weirdly special about Trevor Lawrence, but Kyle Trask has the sheer numbers of just, this is stupid that this kid can perform at this level. And honestly, he's got one of the best tight ends in college football.
The best tight end in college football.
The last mock is a top 10 pick, which I love. I love the love. So I understand the sheer numbers point, Kyle Trask being our college football wet boy.
College basketball, Dave.
Send these kids something though. Yeah. Like you're right. I do want to start an award. Like we will have to find
wet
some
boy of the year.
What boy of the year? An award that we can get like sent to kids or people in general.
Also, today while doing this, I found out what one of our first actual shirts should be.
What should
it's just a shirt that it has a cool design, but it's a shirt that says "I'm a wet boy."
Ooh, wet boy of the week or wet boy of the day?
No, just claim yourself as a wet boy. Like, because I'm that awesome today. I'm a wet boy. Like, and people ask you what you'd have to really be a fan of us to wear that shirt, though.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing. Like,
in public, that's embarrassing.
You'd have to be our version of a stoolie.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what that shirt's gonna look like. But I'm with you. I think there's something there. I don't know. I don't like the "I'm a wet boy" like. That might put some people off. I'm not done with the design.
Let's be honest. We knew what we were doing when we made this.
We may have come up with something unique there that people don't want to represent on their shirts, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's cool. Teach their own. We had 13 total college basketball players get a wet ball.
Excellent. That's awesome.
The podium, we had 2 tied for 2, 1 with 3. The 2 that are bronze and silver are Corey Kispert and Jalen Wilson, all 4 of them coming from Dave. However, Dave, I voted for someone 3 times, and he is Wet Boy of the Year for college basketball.
Really?
Io DeSumo.
Why am I not sure?
There's your Zach Levine Wet Boy of the Year.
Illinois is the Wet Boy
he
of the Year
only got
for college
3
basketball.
of them. We spread the love, kind of. 13, and think about when the season started.
Corey Kispert came on late as far as his shooting dominance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Io was very good at the end of his sophomore year, and then amazing to start his junior year.
Yeah.
So I will admit that he does probably deserve a lot of the praise, and I think he is probably number 2 in the Wooden Award situation. You and I discussed that.
And here's the thing with this, though. The Wet Boys, this is going to look different next year because everything that was non-NBA, there's some NBA in here, but all the other categories basically happened between the 1st of September. It was the 1st of August. It was either like the 1st of September or the 1st of August until now. So it's like literally most of these categories, all their Wet Boys. Yeah. All of them came between 4 months basically?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have the Daily Show now, so the numbers are staggered much heavier now than they were where it was once a week to start the year. So
that too.
Unfortunately, last year's Wet Boys didn't stand a chance because of COVID, so,
and
it was a little bit tougher for them.
And let's be honest.
JP, if you wear a shirt that says, I'm a Wet Boy, I question you as a person. I'm going to have to.
Why? It just means they're a P1, Dave. P1er. Gotta have some P1ers.
We will work with you and get a design that is actually good, like my being the Kid Sable t-shirt.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to rush this, Dave. I want to make it look like a good shirt.
I'm with you there.
I want it to be something that looks good. The 2 easy ones, soccer. We had 2 soccer Wet Boys the whole year. I'm sorry, football Wet Boys the whole year. Both of them to the same person, Marcus Rashford, Man U. Congratulations, Wet Boy of the Year in the soccer world. No MLS Wet Boys. We didn't have any MLSers this year.
I will give credit to the MLS as a whole for bringing the sport back during their own bubble in the Florida Disney situation.
Yep.
You know what's weird? It's like a different sport. Watching the MLS versus the Premier League versus Champions League. It's a different sport. I hate to say it. I hate to be elitist about it.
It is.
My brother watches a lot of the EU, and the Premier League and the Champions League, and it's a different sport. But it's very fun and entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it. So
the thing I love about soccer is
into more. I think this year we may see more of those guys.
Thing I love about soccer is it's like, okay, this game's going to be done in an hour and a half.
You know the time.
Yeah, it's not like a 3-hour shit. My whole day, I got to plan my whole day around it, kind of a thing.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah,
it's very true. I will say that next year, if I'm making a prediction, there's a certain Wet Boy over in Europe who's an American player who I did learn about through the McAfee show.
And you're gonna vote for him a little bit? Is that what you're saying?
See, there are some certain players in Europe who are American players who are. Might be closely followed.
Are you going to have Wet Boys when there's not basketball going on? Maybe.
I may break the trend. We will. Let's be careful about this, but I might watch more sports.
So we had another category too, because Chris Nikic got a Wet Boy from me, being the youngest person with Down syndrome to finish the Ironman competition and qualify for, I think it's in Japan. So he got a Wet Boy. And then
incredible effort. That's one of those things, Ironman competitions, if you look up the distances for those, I could never do that.
Yeah, I couldn't even do it at all. I wouldn't even try it. I wouldn't even set myself up to fail.
It's inspirational what he has done, and I'm honestly shocked by the performance, because it's one of those situations where you look at
You go like, there's no fucking way that I could train myself to do 1/3 of that. I could do the swimming portion,
which is weird because you used to do stuff like that. I didn't.
Did a triathlon once. Couldn't do an Ironman ever.
Yeah. Also, Jimmer Fredette for dropping 51 in the Chinese league. So that's kind of our other category.
Yeah.
We also had E-Boy of the Year, which Dave, I let him vote for it because everyone got one vote. Rampy, Spica, Knight, Impact. Dave, who'd you vote for?
Impact. I thought he had the best performance on international stage. Spica had a fantastic performance for TSM, but at the end of the day, like TSM was a shit team around him, so he wasn't able to perform at the highest level because his team failed him. Impact had some very good plays. I thought his consistency deserved the Wet Boy of the Year award for our esports Wet Boy. Knight, incredible individual performance, but again, long term, not really there. So I had to go back to Impact at the end of the day.
And then the one where every single one of these, except for one, I voted for. One of those, the Misty Misses of the year.
There you go.
Had
category.
How many Misty Misses? We had a total of 6 plus 3, 9 Misty Misses this year. 6 of them coming from the WNBA, 3 of them coming from college basketball and or college football because we had Sarah Fuller.
Okay.
To me, there were 3 choices here because all of them had 1 vote. Brianna Stewart was one of them for winning in the championship. Sarah Fuller for what she's been able to do and why she was voted for a Wet Boy, kind of breaking the barrier. But I had to go with, and this is one to where it's like could be controversial. The one that started it all, Bridget Carlton. The first ever Misty Miss, I think deserves it's one of those where it's like you broke a mold for this show, where we never even thought about the
I'm surprised it wasn't
Misty
Sarah Fuller.
Misses out there.
That's where my vote would have been.
That's why the fan vote thing I think is going to have to be a thing next year.
The D1 effort in being the face of a movement is special. I know.
Should we change it? Should we change it?
I believe.
Yeah, Colorado. No,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt.
No, I'm saying like the one previous.
Oh yeah, Colorado. You're right.
Yeah, because there was a whole thing where it was like, why are we acting like this is a big deal? It happened in the past already. But I believe every step forward is a big deal, and we should make a big deal out of it. So Vanderbilt, Sarah Fuller is my vote for Misty Miss of the Year. I think what she did and becoming the face of something.
Fuck it, we'll change it. Sarah Fuller, Misty Miss of the Year.
Wow, on the spot. That's crazy.
Well, it's one of those to where it's like I was thinking the same thing because of that. But like there was a part of me that was like, well, the first one for this year, because like that was the one that actually started, like gave Sarah Fuller the chance. Like there's no Sarah Fuller Misty Miss without a Bridget Carlton one, but fuck it, you're right. Sarah Fuller, Misty Miss of the Year.
I think pushing forward the idea that like there's room for women in college football is massive, because I think it's the idea of opening up boundaries and making people aware that, hey, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I can't play football. I love that idea, because I think we've seen in recent years that there's a lot of girls who play Pee-wee and like not varsity football, well, even high school football. I'll say it. Fuck it. Girls who get involved in football in high school, like there is room for them in college. There is a next step if they want to pursue that. So I think that what Sarah Fuller did was awesome. And I love the idea that like kicker's an awesome position to move forward with, because it is low contact. It is a situation where like it's like 50% mental, 50% physical, but also the idea that like Sarah Fuller was able to step in on a very bad team. Just no qualms about it. That is a bad football team in college.
Yeah.
And she was able to knock a kick in, and that was very cool.
And basically rip them too of like, come on, guys, like this is how it is on the side. Because the soccer team wins.
Yeah. The soccer team that she's part of is like, we're great. We support each other. It's nothing but love and encouragement. And she commented about the football team being very much quiet on the sidelines.
Well, that's
so,
what happens when you lose. People are pissed at each other.
I love what she's trying to do in the idea of the movement. So I want to give her the credit. I'm glad that you agree with me there, Ricky, that she deserves the Misty Miss of the year.
And last but not least, Dave, the award you do not want to win at the end of the year for MVP.
The driest of dudes.
The driest of the dudes. So we had 9 dry dudes this year.
Read them all off. I think they all deserve a little shout out.
I'm going to go in order I have them. So Bryson Gresham, he got one yesterday. Late addition to the dry dudes. He got one yesterday. Dave gave one to the entirety of college basketball as a what, Dave?
They deserved it.
As a what, though?
It's dry dude.
No. What did you would always say, I'm giving it to college basketball.
As a whole.
As a whole.
college basketball as a whole had failed us that day.
It was funny. I listened to you say that on the podcast, and then when I asked you about it, you're like, oh, yeah, I gave it to him as a whole. And it's like, yep, you said the exact same way again.
Wording does not change from Dave. Dave uses the same verbiage.
I gave one to Dabo Sweeney for his comments after Florida State and Clemson. Fuck you, Dabo Sweeney. I stand by that.
You're going to dab on something.
Dave gave it to the entire Bucks team, which is going to be important later. Dave also gave one to Matt Nagy this season.
He deserved the shit out of that.
Yeah. We gave a joint dry dude to Brian Urlacher for comments that he made this year. Yep. I believe
How socially inept are you, motherfucker? Like, Brian Urlacher is my hero as a Bears legend. Mm-hmm. He's an all-timer. Mm-hmm. He's going to be, hanging in the rafters of Soldier Field forever.
Really, though, for this, I don't know if the Bears want to now.
But his statements are so infuriating. That he is so wrong in his line of thought. It is extremely frustrating.
Did JD just call the dry dudes a mild mango?
I don't know.
Also, the first dry dude of MVP Sports Live was you, Dave. Do you remember who it was?
I'm a negative motherfucker, apparently.
It was Pandemic P.
Oh,
Pandemic P got a dry dude from Dave. The first
George had a rough go in the bubble.
Yeah. But he ended up with 2 wet boys on the year. The first
caused that transition.
Yeah, the first ever dry dude this year was the first wet boys of the year. I gave it to Kevin Durant because he was not playing because of his torn Achilles. Kendrick Perkins came out and said Russell Westbrook is the best player in Thunder's history, which then KD and him clapped back and forth, and I gave him a wet boy because it's like, KD, you don't have to respond to him. Be better than that.
No, KD was clearly bothered by his former teammate's opinion, and he's so petty that he had to answer to Kendrick Perkins, who, let's be honest, deserves no credibility on the national stage for the things he's ever said.
But Dave, driest of dudes, the dry dude of the year, he had 1 vote, but gets added a vote because in wet boy history, when you vote a team, that adds to any dry dude or wet boy you get. Like the Warriors, we gave it to the Warriors the 1 year. Every single Warrior wet boy got bumped by 1.
That's true.
Tom Brady is the driest dude of the year. He had 1 wet boy, and then Dave, because Dave voted for the Bucks, gave him 2.
He held up the 4.
Yeah, driest dude of the year.
How bad was Tom Brady in his noodle arm in that game? I can't believe that Tom Brady deserves this, but like, if I'm speaking truthfully, Tom Brady.
To be honest, Brian Urlacher probably deserves it the most
for his comments. But like Brian Urlacher, we didn't even give one to Drew Brees for his comments.
Yeah, good point.
I feel like they were almost equally deserving. Mm-hmm. It was a similar situation as far as
yet again, though, the thing about the dry dude is you're taking away a wet boy from yourself.
That's how much I care about the situation.
Yeah, I know. It's like, but that's the thing. It's like, do you want to be positive and give praise to someone, or be negative for a show? That's kind of the quorum you're in. Yeah,
it's a big decision, and it weighs a lot. And I think that Brian Urlacher said some things that I completely disagree with in it. As a person who has listened to multiple interviews from Brian Urlacher, who has watched Brian Urlacher through his entire career.
Yes.
It's very tough to me to give him a dry dude. Like, I understand why I didn't. I have to say that, like, I just completely and ultimately disagree with your opinions on the situation. 2020 has been a very tough year for a lot of us. And I think for people who are in a minority, it was even tougher. And I think that there were several instances this year where it was like, if you don't see the situation from this certain point of light, then you're just ignorant to what's going on in America. And I think that Brian Urlacher failed us. I think Drew Brees, who did not end up with a dry dude, deserves one. I don't know what was happening that week if we were off.
I don't know. I don't know.
It might have been during the time that we were not even recording, Ricky.
Maybe.
But yeah, like Tom Brady, obviously, like he had a tumultuous season. You know, he went from being the New England Patriot 20-year career to I'm going to pick my own team, I'm going to man Gronk, and I'm going to lose games with my hand-picked team and get thrown under a bus by my own coach and not understand what down it is in a game down to the wire with the Bears. Like, it's still fourth down, right? And they're like, no, it's the other team's ball now. You done fucked up. That was the beginning of the end for Tom Brady. And yet Tom Brady still, at this point in the year, has a chance to win a championship. That's how good this Bucs team is.
So right here in the article I looked up, this was posted in August.
The Drew Brees situation?
Yeah, Drew Brees on Saturday. So he said in August, reiterated his vow to stand with the black community, saying it broke my heart and was crushing that his June comments. So yeah, it happened in June while we were off even. Because like there was a part of me that was August 1st. That was right when we started because we started August 1st. But yeah, we're still going. I was going to end the show, Dave, with congratulations. This is the longest MVP Sports Live of the year, and boy, was it a fucking doozy. I loved every minute of it.
I wanted to bring in the fans. I wanted to bring in the attention.
We're inclusive.
I love it's part of the show. We can't do this without them, Ricky.
Bingo.
I think you and I both know that.
That's what I was getting to. They are more important than us. Without them, there is no us. And yeah, there was a part of me that's like, do we do the video of like what this year has meant to us and a thank you to the fans? We'll do it right now. Like,
yeah,
without you guys, we are nothing. Like,
honestly, I think without you guys, we wouldn't still be doing this. Like, without having that community that built around our show and the friends we've gained from this, like, I don't know that I would have kept going week by week. I know myself and Ricky are, we've been doing this since 2012.
Yes.
I think we came back to.
Since your first show in your parents' basement between you, Brandon.
No, we were in the upstairs. We were in the kitchen.
No, I'm talking about. So the first YouTube video we did was me and you in your kitchen. Because I'm good. Because I'm better at opening. The first actual podcast we did was after the Super Bowl. It was in your basement with your snowball mic.
Yep.
And it was basically, there was a part of that because Dave was taking a podcast class too. So he's using the stuff for his class. But
I was taking a podcast class with two guys who are on this Paul basketball team, which was awesome because I got to talk to them a lot during that time period.
Yeah. And I remember it was me, you, and Brandon in your basement all around that snowbike. I keep wanting to saying snowbike mic. That's what I watch on Twitch. Snowball mic. But yeah, no, it's been a great, the thing that made me think that like the whole thing of like, wow, like this is really special. We took 2 months off.
Yeah.
And then came back. Like I was worried coming back because it's like, shit, has people lost interest? Plus I was also nervous because it's different. Like
different lineup to the show, different format, and missing Sean. I mean, that's
missing everyone too, but yeah, Sean between us.
Yeah.
Like it was down at the end. It was really just the fast break.
Yep.
That was going on. But yeah, I can't wait. I hope 2021 is better. I do want to say that.
Wait to see what 2021 brings to us. Like that's the thing. Like as a series of shows, not only our show but also you and Soapy on MVP Entertainment. Like it's crazy to think how far we've come and where we started at. So I'm happy for our fans. They definitely kept us going because that 2 month break was necessary, but at the same time, like it got the juices flowing, you know, we got to know that our community was there for us. So I really appreciate all you guys who kept with us daily, kept talking sports with us daily. brought new conversation. And honestly, like, you guys are some of the closest friends we have now.
Yeah.
Like, and that's wonderful because we never would have had that without MVP.
Yeah, no, like I said, like when JD's like, I talk to you guys more than my real life friends. I talk to the patrons and
You
Twitch
are
subs. Like I'm always like, not every day, but like I talk to them more than I talk to, like, I even talk, again, the pandemic has played a part of it, but like that they are who I talk to. They are who I like. The weird thing I'm still trying to get my mom's head around is whenever I mention Soapy, she goes, Soapy. I was like, yeah, that's what we fucking call him. Like that's just his name. It's just the nickname. But like, I can't wait to. I hope 2021 is better. There is a cynical side of me of this year has been so bad. How is it ever going to get better? I'll be honest.
It's gotta get better.
I think a lot of people are feeling that though. Of like, we've been pushed down so much, and it seems like. Is it gonna get better? But hopefully it does. Like it's got to, right?
I got better.
I got better. I'll put your kneecaps up. But that's gonna do it for MVP Sports Live today. If you hung through the entirety of this 2 hour and 10-minute podcast, Dave,
marathon show.
Man, it was a banger.
Fans total, by the way.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and we were higher than that earlier on. Here's the thing. I don't know what Dave's plan is, if Dave's going to go to sleep or not, because like Dave said, he may not make it to
I'm
midnight.
going to pee.
Yeah, well, I want to eat. I
really
can smell it in the kitchen. I was going to go eat. I want to come back. I'm going to be on Twitch. I want to ring in the new year with you guys.
Okay.
I may be playing WoW while we ring in the new year, but
yeah, that's fair.
I want to try to do that. I want to try to do that. So we will be back. Let me eat. Let Dave take a piss. Kind of get the juices flowing, per se. Right, Dave? That's what you do when you pee.
So fucking weird.
I mean, it's a juice.
Please on the show so I can go pee.
You can go pee right now. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for doing everything you do. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Love you, JD. Love you, Soapy. Love you, Sam.
Go pee. Go pee, Dave. Go pee. Shit.